Because I changed everything. All right, let's go back to the start. Silence is golden. Golden. We should be working now, so I don't need to make the sound effects. That is all the joy of me setting up Brendan not available, producer B, because he's got his things. Diandra unavailable because, well, she's here and I see you, but couldn't jump on because she's dealing with her stuff. And so I said, I'll wake up. I'll get this done. And I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning until the time changed to 1. And so it leaves me to believe this ain't getting done this whole 4:30 in the morning. It'll probably be Brendan alone next week, although I will be trying. If you don't know why you're here for the dual streamer. We've got the Wrexham Briton Ferry, the watch-along watch party that normally happens on Sunday that Diandra has so wonderfully and capably captured with Brendan so far this year. Probably looking to have me come and join more often because the girls are up 2-0. We have sound, and you'll have to let me know. I'm in control, so we'll have to figure out if it's all working and everything. And I'm going to hit the pause button on there so I don't end up with bandwidth problems because I'm running the show. You missed 2 absolute cracking goals. Build up through the middle all the way through up to Diandra at the end, who plopped it into the far left corner. Easy as, just slides it on in. And then Phoebe Davis from what was that, 35 yards? 40 yards? Like, what was that, Diandra? Long lift over top of the keeper and plopped perfectly into the goal. You'll have to let me know how the sound is because I've got that telling me it's a little bit hot. And I don't want it to be too hot. Behind bars, how are you? Sorry, my apologies for signing everything late. I had a couple. I didn't want to tell anybody because some people have been sick and not feeling good. And they're probably laying in bed at some point watching this. And so for everybody who stepped in and said, hey, I'd like to help out this weekend and going forward, I think we're in good stead. And I appreciate you trying to jump in and doing your thing. And so it was basically from Chester. Diandra with the drops. Another one in the box here. Rosie trying to turn it. Oh, yeah, I just couldn't get that one. I've seen bits and pieces of games here and there and logged in and then got frustrated and had to run and then come back and had a look. But as far as continuous play, this has been an impressive performance so far. We are 9 minutes away. The reason why we're also here, and I will change everything and try and figure out how to do that on the fly because I'm in charge of it all. 9 minutes from now, we're going to be starting to cover the lineup will come out for the women or for the men in their FA Cup match. So you're here for the double dip, and I'm gonna probably be setting stuff up as we're going through, which you guys will all see. And there is no way for me to holler. We've got another opportunity, long range Pritchard who put the shot in, able to be captured. And I've got to figure out how to get everything working because some of it's not, and I didn't get to test it this morning. That's a mistake. 1 second. Not the chat link. This is the frustrating part about setting everything up, and the reason why I didn't enjoy doing it is because if you get something wrong early in the morning, I knew there was going to be something. It just doesn't want to work. It just doesn't want to work. And so I've got the same thing. And if we don't get it, I guess it's going to affect the entirety of the day. Long range, easily. Craven able to capture that one and bring it in. So there we go. It was basically from Chester. We got it. No, I like it. I mean, you guys, I'm sure, have canvassed this one, and recently, I know I heard about it a little while earlier. I mean, the for the women, every game sort of matters now because they're sitting in a position where they are 3 points back, 4 points back of Swansea, who have a game in hand, trying to climb the ladder, and that's not even the team that's in 4th place. And so you've got to take some of these points before you get to the second half of the first half. And what I mean by that, if you don't follow the Adrian Premier League, for the women, 8 teams in the league, top 4 make the call it the championship round, and we'll play each other. For the bottom 4, that's going to be a freak push in the back, and that's at least a yellow. For the women in the bottom half of the standings after the season, the first half of the season, they play for basically to avoid relegation. Call it the plate, and so they play a home and away, and they're just about to wrap up the first round of home and away. Not really true. They played Briton Ferry before. They haven't played the New Saints. They're going to play them back to back relatively soon. And yes, a yellow for Fuller. Hey, Mertlin, how are you? I want to be able to bring up the excuse me, the men's lineup when it comes in. Harrogate Town, where they're going to have a free kick here, 20 yards out. It'll be close. It'll be dangerous. The wall, 3, 4, 5 standing into it. It's right in the middle. The wall just being reset here. So Liz Craven. Four in the wall. It's basically just the dot extended, but 22 yards out. Left footer? No, right footer. Here comes up over top. Wow! Oh! Lucky, fortunate, and oh my word, that strike was stunning. Right footed. Smashed off the bar. Allison Witt with that one from a distance, and that was unstoppable. The only thing that was fortunate was to hit the post. A little bit of luck on the Wrexham side. And so, yeah, ignore the boxes. A week away, 6 days away, and I'm putting together IKEA furniture all morning long, or all day long, and that's what I'm going to be doing. 19 people streaming, joining already. Hit the like button, especially for you people that are already here, because we're going to have to let people know that we're here. So we're going to watch that one, 24:30 going on there, and we're going to start to talk the men here in Harrogate, just because the lineup's going to be coming. And let me know your thoughts in the comments as far as as Rosie just has an opportunity there. What your thoughts are going to be on the lineup. Are we going full capacity? Are we making some moderate changes into Harrogate, Weatherby Stadium? A little bit smaller than we're used to this year. I should be rubbing it in. Who am I to rub it in? But it's Harrogate's always a funny town, and I've said this online and offline. Is I don't know why last year we just looked like we were stuck in the mud both times that we played Harrogate. I'm looking at the like, are we going to see a Bodferson slide in? Are we going to see a Matty James? Are we going to see, like, who do you anticipate to be the roster? We'll find that out shortly. And I do want to get your answers to that, but I just want to check on something to make sure that we're all... Just 1 second. Okay, there we go. Nothing wants to work for me this morning. There it is. Sorry, guys. This is the joy of everything all being in a bit of a mess. Is all of the art that goes into setting this thing up well, you guys are going to see live and in charge. Because I don't have an option. There we go. I think we've got options now. So the lineup's there. I think I've got you guys. I can go back to the chat now, and I think we're going to go fullish capacity, maybe with 2 changes. Yeah, and I think this is a perfect time to bring in James and Bodferson, at least for some point in time, right? I just don't know when that will be. But I definitely and certainly would like to bring them in. Why is Lightfoot not playing? Because you want her to, and the decisions of the coach have been bothering you all season long. Bryn, if you joined right from the beginning, you might want to refresh and hit the live button. That might be the situation. And part of the reason you're not getting any sound is because I was quiet, because I'm still looking to get everything set up, as we're 2 minutes away from getting the roster lined for the Harrogate match. And we're sitting here watching what has been, from what I've seen, an exceptional performance by the women. They've been turning it on recently, but Rosie, she mishit that one looking for a Dindon on the right-hand side, but still dangerous and putting in the effort. I know, pretty impressive, right? Dora, I was sitting here trying to get set up, having slept in, and waiting for it all to boil down. And so it is just what it is. I've got to reset. I just got to set up something here. Okay, I think we're going to be okay here. But we'll find out for the rest of the game as we go through things. Jimmy Mack will be arrested if only because all kits are displaying poppies this weekend. Yeah, I don't... I mean, he could have one without a poppy, or do you think that he's going to be missing the lineup entirely? And if you haven't heard, James McLean on Spotify, new song, great one, sung and sending the message about exactly why and who Jimmy is. Jello Biafra from Australia. See, this is the joy of the Sundays, is I'm going to get some people who I don't normally get appearing before. And for you Aussies, that's one of them, sort of a weird time. The time change always makes things different. And so... Hey, Chris, met at the pint. Flying to Liverpool on Wednesday, is going to be at Mansfield. Rub it in. And I've been talking, lots of people have been asking me if I'm making it over the season. Still up in the air on my end. Obviously, we've got to get into the house, and we've had to overspend. Not out of the ordinary, I suppose, for a... And the lineup is ready, so let's see if I can bring this in. And I'm going to have to do it this way. And it's just, some of this is going to be a bit of a bugaboo, but let's just... The whole lineup is missing. The whole lineup is missing. Gremlins. This is why I don't want to be in control anymore. I know. I got it. I'm sorry. I will bring it back up. And I will bring up the... 1 second. I don't know why the mic disappeared. It should still be on. When I go here, it says the mic is hot. when I go here and I transition it, it still says the mic is hot. So you should be there. You should have me. I got it. All right. Sorry. Baby steps. This is why. It's been a while since I set it up, and obviously I didn't catch all the gremlins with the move and the transition into the new house. The lineup is the same as normal, except for Scar getting the day off, or at least he's on the bench. It's Ogonko, Cleworth, O'Connell. Perfect, thank you. Cleworth, O'Connell, and O'Connor in the back. As Briton Ferry just has an opportunity, but just bang it off, and they're going to get a corner here over from the right-hand side. Smashed off in the box. Yeah, still hit the like button, guys. Anyways, backline, Cleworth, O'Connell, and O'Connor. So EOC comes in for Scar. Cleworth still gets his spot on the right-hand side. The wingers, you're going to get Ryan Barnett, so just the magic man over on the right-hand side, with Seb Revan being the only real sub coming in on the left. He'll get full minutes with McLean starting on the bench. Look, I love Phoebe Davis. Finish it about this goal. That goal was something else. They got to put that one in the highlight reel somewhere, because that was a cracker. You've got Cannon, Rathbone, and Dobson, which is it. I'm interested to see this one as the corner comes in. Oh, kicked. Still, it's loose just outside the 6-yard box. Now 18-yard box. Now banged off the shins. Is it going to be saved before it goes out for a corner? And it goes out, and I don't know. Oh, it went for a goal kick. I thought that was going to go out for a corner off of the boot. I guess they're saying it wasn't deflected and it hit a Briton Ferry player. In any event, they're going. I'm interested to see what this lineup Merton looks like too. Largely because it's all we've seen is Elliot Lee for 2.5 years. All we've seen is Elliot Lee. I'm not muted anymore. I shouldn't be muted anymore. Please tell me I'm not muted anymore. And so Cannon, Rathbone, Dobson, you've got no box-to-box guy, you've got your defensive specialist, and how would you qualify Cannon? Would you? Because I think of him as a box-to-box guy, but with a boot. I don't see him as being as creative as much, mind you. In last weekend when he had the goal that was all him sort of busting down and getting it free to Mullen and then back. No audio. I shouldn't be muted anymore. That's the problem. I shouldn't be muted. Unless people are playing with me and it's just a problem on your end, or they're watching it from the start. No Liam McLean. I think getting everybody a break and had an opportunity there. Courtney Young having to come out for Briton Ferry to grab it. Wrexham's been all over him all season long. He's got a foot like a tractor engine in the heart of a line. I love having him in the lineup because he's got that boot. I don't think he weaponizes it enough. I don't think the team weaponizes it enough. Yeah, and I think that's probably what it is. I'm not muted, I don't think. I'm just going to have to trust the system and do its thing. And so I'll bring this back up so you guys can see it. I can see the mic gain bouncing up and down. And so let me know what your thoughts are on this lineup. Obviously, I'm interested. Matty James, Bodferson sitting on the bench. I think you're going to definitely see them today. You're definitely going to see Mo fall. I hope we actually don't see Elliot Lee, as we've got a Briton Ferry player down here leading into the last 50 minutes that we're going to sit and have a chat, taking in this game and chatting about the other. I wish I could say I know what to expect from Harrogate. If you've looked at the stats, Kim, it's coming. Actually, I was told to just leave it at this amount. And so, sorry. I don't even know how to do a Canadian accent. I just talk. And sometimes it comes out and sometimes it doesn't. The only thing is if I have a couple of drinks, it'll be like, hey, bud, going out in the rhubarb. No, I can't even do it. I'm so tired. I can't even turn it on for fun. That's just where it is. If you haven't been following along with Harrogate's season, they've been having a fascinating one because they've been struggling for goals. And last season, they were led by Muldoon and I'm trying to remember the other name. 16 goals and 11 goals. I'll bring it up. I mean, they only have Ellis Taylor, who joined them his first from Sunderland. He's joined them out of the academy at 21 years of age. He's got 3 goals. They are struggling to find goals. They're second worst in League Two in scoring. And the guys that have normally scored are still there. In George Thompson, who had 16, and Jack Muldoon, who had 11. And so I don't know what the story is for them. Is it? And I guess I'm clicking around too fast there. As you can see you can see the cheat sheet that I go for with FB Ref, and it's probably too small. Jack, he's only played 1 goal 79 minutes, so I don't know if he's injured. Rosie had an opportunity there, chance sliding challenge, and it's going to go out for a throw, and Rosie's going to look to take it quick. It's fascinating to watch or to look at the difference in the lineup. Muldoon, he's played in 13 goals, had 9 starts, 0 goals, 0 assists. Like, nobody's creating, nobody's scoring. Harrogate looks like they just are struggling. Let's see if we can find what their lineup is, and while I click around and do that, we'll look at Briton Ferry coming forward here. And a free kick going the other way as Lily falls over top. So let's do the comparison here of what we've got as to what they've been this year. And I'm going to go back to this one. There's their lineup, and it probably doesn't mean much unless you compare to their minutes. And so, and positionally, you're going to hear some ticking away because I'm not going to be able to figure this out without a little bit of help. I will say their goalkeeping, James Belshaw, seems to be doing all right, 75.7%. And sort of for me, the 73 percentage mark seems to be where you start to think that's all right. So he's been doing all right, 53 saves on 70 shots on target against. And so he's in the nets. As far as O'Connor, let's go through their leading Minutemen. O'Connor, he's in. Belshaw, he's in. Ellis Taylor, that's their leading goal scorer so far this season, number 21, he's in. Mr. Sims, the American, I don't see him. So, and maybe a knock. Toby Sims, 27 years of age, the defender, and I don't see him lying on. And I'm not going from birthplace, I'm going from country of they've played internationally with, if not their country of birth. James Daly on the bench. Dean Cornelius, he's in the lineup. So you've already noticed 2 players out, Sims and Daly. And I should be writing this down because I won't remember exactly who they are. And if you know who these players are, by all means I'm going completely on stats on this one and on the fly. Why? Because I'm renovating a house and I am moving and I have no time to do anything but just try to survive and be a part of here and the community that we've built, which this is what I look forward to. And so that's why I want to be here next weekend against what's that team? Mansfield. Yeah, those guys. And I say that facetiously, because it's being a part of the community that sort of got me through some of the doldrums of the winters of the past. So Moon is in. Muldoon, their next highest Minuteman, he's in the lineup, and so it looks like largely it is the full starting lineup, other than it's Muldoon. No, not Muldoon. Sims and Daly who are out, and instead it's Zico Asare, who is one of their players that's expected to do some more damage this year, and I don't know why he's only played 9 goals and had 5 starts. Started 9 games. Started 5 games and appeared in 9. I don't know why he's been less frequently featured for Harrogate, as I thought that at the start of the year he was supposed to be getting more minutes. And the other player that we're looking at is Gibson, I believe. No. I'm trying to compare who the other lower Minutemen. Stephen Duke McKenna. If I go back to Stephen Duke McKenna, came to them from QPR on a free. And I was curious about that because they only made 3 signings. Zico Asare, Stephen Duke McKenna, and Ellis Taylor. They've all been getting limited minutes. what that says to me, whether I'm right or wrong, what that says to me is they haven't been impressed, and so they're getting less minutes. This is an FA Cup match. Let's get the guys that we brought in some extra minutes, and that's something that you'd see quite frequently. So we're getting a couple of players here who I think they're expecting more from and may have an opportunity to show it. We shall see, but that's the lineup. Let's go back to this, and hopefully everybody can hear me, as if you haven't, I've been missing out. Other than Mrs. Shaun, nothing good comes out of Yorkshire. Pudding. And I did have a terrier. Goin. Korean for bear. Is Muldoon where Frodo destroyed the ring? I want to play that game now, but I can't think of anything. You know, where somebody intentionally makes something wrong, and so it was Muldoon, and then you end up saying no. Macaroon, Muldoon. You'd be like, no, Mordor. You're thinking Mordor. What they really mean is for it to be macaroon, and then somebody jumps in and says macaroon. Anyway, I don't know. I probably missed it. There it is. Trippy's doing it. Muldoon. You don't just walk into Muldoon. So we are 15 minutes away, and I want to run a couple of polls, so feel free to let those things go. If you've just a couple of reminders as we're going, and I do have a single pin. You can see the boxes behind me. They're getting lighter. Where are they over there? And like as soon as this match is over, to start putting together furniture. I am not looking forward to today. But I want to talk about the sponsor. This match and every match this season ad-free. I should have waited the minute until to soak in the 2 minutes of the women's match, and then we could talk about it at halftime. Every match this season, every watch party, watch along we do, brought to you ad-free by Ultimate Promotions. If you're looking for pins, things like this, and it's all of its glory. This is a stamped one. Go to ultimatepromotions.biz, ultipromo.com, and have a look at them. They do those. They do the medals with the hard. You want soft enamel, hard enamel. You've got a competition, sport training, whatever you want to do. Free artwork, free delivery. Reach out to them and see how they get those set up. Mordor, methinks. Muldoon. Macaroon. I'm gonna have to just mispronounce his name the whole time, the whole way through. As we're getting close to the minute half at the Rock. And Jesse, we're gonna have a chat about things that are changes are afoot. MH Travel having chats and things like that. The at 3:30 Welsh time, but also remember daylight savings is now caught up for North Americans, and so it should be another 45 minutes away. Unless my Google searches to make sure everything was okay, was not okay. Wrexham. Now I'm all nervous because if I have to. 7:30 says to me in 45 minutes, so you guys will have to let me know. And David, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. That's awesome. So we are 45 minutes away, and what I wanted to do also, we'll wait until the half. Let's watch this corner come in here as the Wrexham women looking to try and hold on to a 2-0 lead. This is Briton Ferry, going to be kicking from the left corner with a left-footed outswinger away from the keeper. Here comes that kick. Into the box. It's actually well struck, headed for the far post, and cleared away from the line. And was that Rosie who was standing on the far right post who cleared that away? It was not a keeper save in any event. Pull on the shirt by Briton Ferry, and we turn it the other way. An important game for the standings. We'll bring those up just so that everybody has it. If you haven't watched the women, Diandra does them, Brendan does them. I would like to do more of them. The reality is, it's just so busy, can't deal with anything. But an important match, as I said, Swansea, who still has a game in hand, sitting 4 points up. You've also got Barrytown and Briton Ferry sitting at 11 points, so that's 5 points up. For Wrexham, the key and the goal for the first half of the season, that is the first 14 matches, is to finish in the top 4. And right now, this is their 7th game, and they're sitting at 6 points now presently as it sits in this one, because they're taking the 3 points so far on the table that doesn't live update. But they'd be on 9 points. And for Briton Ferry, they're on top looking down, and they haven't lost all year. Briton Ferry hasn't. 3 wins, 2 draws. And so for them, it's important for us to be taking points away from these guys and starting to climb the ladder and hopefully pulling somebody back down to us. We haven't played the New Saints yet, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because the New Saints are sitting second overall in the year, or second overall in the standings. Rosie dancing around and then pulled down. Oh, that was close to a penalty for me. Just because I don't think that the ball was probably 80% Rosie, 20% available, and she came in hard through the legs in the box. 50-50 ball, you might be able to get away with that. But no real complaints, so maybe I'm just talking out of my... So a corner to end it. Going to be a short corner taken. Cross into the box. Short corner. Bullet. Was right there for Rosie, and she didn't get her head to it. The whistle blows. Halftime, and we can go back to talking about the boys. This is kind of advantageous. And you can catch that one at iFollow. What I wanted to do... Denise, how are you? Giselle. And hey, a special announcement for everybody that's here. Please, if you wouldn't mind, hit the like button. I know there's only a few of you, but because we're going to be on for an extended period, the algorithm, it really matters. And if I run for a whole half. Tobin, skip forward. For everybody who joins, you got to skip forward. You got to hit that live button. I'm going to pin this. I got to pin a message that tells everybody, if you're joining late... skip forward. Otherwise, you're going to miss the whole thing. Because I assume I'm not muted. I shouldn't be muted. And everybody's just going to have to tell me. Otherwise, we're going to be dealing with this the whole day through because I made a whoopsie. If joining late, hit the live button and move forward. Really, I have no sound? Everything here tells me I have sound. Somebody tell me I'm working, because otherwise I've got a problem. All right. I wanted to go to Live Soccer TV. If you guys don't have this page bookmarked, you need to have it bookmarked. And we'll do a walkabout during the women's halftime here. We'll do a walkabout and have a look at the scores that have come in so far. Go to Live Soccer TV, search for Wrexham in the box. You'll find it there, and then load it up, and you will find a page that looks something like this. And I'm going to zoom this in a little bit if I can without blowing up the universe. And we're looking for the FA Cup match against Harrogate. And this is the domestic one, but if you scroll down, you'll have all of the international coverage. So these are the countries. Sorry, I was just clicking around on my screen. Don't mind me. I forget that I'm live, and I can't do this anymore without taking it off. There's the magic. I was looking around because I was getting lots of bandwidth warnings. This is why I'm not covering and broadcasting anymore and doing the production with Brendan. This is where the lineup is for everything that you need to see. If you're in Argentina, if you're down in Australia, you might as well load up your Optus Sport and get it all set up. Yeah, and I think I'm going to have a problem the entire game as people log in and set up. And so anyways, I'm going to leave that up for an extended period just so that everybody has the opportunity to find it. Go to where you need to be. If you're in the United States, you've been used to Paramount Plus all season long. They don't have the rights for this. That's ESPN. If you're in Canada, this is something we're used to. DAZN carries the EFL Cup, covers the EFL Trophy, doesn't have the rights to the FA Cup. They sit with Sportsnet, so Sportsnet has that one set up, so you're going to have to go there. And wherever you are, if you're down in South America, interestingly, there's a Disney Plus for you, and not always the country that you're in. Peru is in Disney Plus. Chile, Colombia has a Disney Plus Sur, and so I don't know what those all mean. And if you're in the UK, you're not on Sky, you're on ITVX. Ireland, wherever you are, those are where the links are. If you don't find one, I'm assuming that means that it's not picked up. You can go to just Google FA Cup International Broadcasters and you can find your broadcast. But usually Live Soccer TV has been the best people at picking this up. So I will leave that for you to review. I've got to go to the scoreboard here just quickly and stop that. We're sitting at the half. How did I do this before all by myself? And it was a lot smoother last season, when not compared to Brendan, but compared to what I'm doing right now. Just out of practice. But a 2-0 lead in this one. If you missed it, goals came in rapid succession early prior to the 13-minute mark, because that's about when I logged in, for 15-minute mark. That's when I logged in. It ended with the first one, and that one was a beautiful build-up, getting towards her sitting inside the box, and she had just lots of space, lots of time, and it was easy to right-footed into the far left post behind Courtney, the keeper, for Briton Ferry. The next goal, an absolute cracker from Phoebe Davis that came from 35, 40 yards away and plopped it. You saw the Lily Jones goal in the race course last season, very similar to that, except just the other side of the field, and off of the boot of Davies, lifted over and perfectly placed it right over top of the keeper and into the corner. Bam, 2-0 against a team who hasn't lost this year and who were looking to try and climb the ladder to get back into it for the women, with after this game 7 games remaining to be in the top 4. Get into that, and you get another round of matches against the points carry over, but you'll get another round as against a home and away against those top 4 teams. And so that's where you want to be, fighting for the top, not fighting for relegation. And Wrexham seemingly righting the ship here. Diandra, who's here with us, at least sporadically, I believe today, identifying that it's the women have been playing well, getting burnt from some bad luck and not getting helped with some coaches' decisions as far as the players that have been putting in. So the Rock, it looks busy. Lots of people didn't make the Harrogate trip. I know some people, and I know Matt's not been feeling well. He's sitting at home recovering, not out in Harrogate. Was thinking maybe he'd be good enough to come and join, not able to do so. And so I wish him well if you're eavesdropping on the match. Let's talk about the Harrogate lineup, and you guys can give me your thoughts as we bring this one up here. Oh, and I don't have it up. Nothing will be smooth today. Nothing will be smooth. You go back to last season, we were up 2-0. If I recall correctly, and correct me if I am wrong. And this is what I remember of that game was feeling it wasn't an impressive game. It was a game full of ick, but we were up 2-0 on the road, so you don't dare complain. But then the ick sort of caught up to us, and they just got two goals late, drew it up 2-2, and we went home kind of scratching our head. I wouldn't say that we played horribly, but it was just sort of a dull, uneventful, doldrummy game. And for whatever reason, when they came and played us at home, it was about the same thing. The Rock hasn't looked better since it was inhabited by Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage. 7,000 miles away. No, it's 4,000 miles away and 7,000 kilometers. I don't know. I'm getting the distance wrong. San Francisco. But I'm interested to see, I think in this one, they've added in 2 players with Asari and Duke McKenna, who they expected to be players for them this year and haven't been. And whether they're able to find their game, that's probably the desperate hope. Look, let's bring up. Good morning, Alex T. How are ya, my friend? Like buttons are down there. Let's bring up the scores from today, or from yesterday anyway. And there will be some earlier ones here. League One. I mean, the shock of it all. When I put League One, not FA Cup, that's on me. The shock of it all was Huddersfield early on. You scroll all the way up to the top. Tamworth taking them down at home over Huddersfield. 6, and Tamworth, I think they're like in 16th in the National League North, I want to say. Yes. Wiped out Huddersfield 1-0 on basically a throw-in that the keeper touched right on the line, and it went in. If you haven't seen the goal, you can find a Twitter feed, you can find the highlights, and they're there. It was like a Tozer bomb, and away it went through. And so, not sure I'm going to be able to support Tamworth just because I've seen some controversial stuff posted, which I still have to do some more research on to justify myself. But we'll see what happens there. I just wanted to go through here for the live scores to see who else has been playing. Things to remind yourselves about first round proper. This is the first time that we're not going to have the replay. The tie won't be coming back to Wrexham. It will be decided in Harrogate, either through added extra time or through penalties. Something that almost every other club in the EFL complained about. Certainly every club outside of the EFL complained about. The FA Cup's magic is in its opportunities for its lower level clubs to get an opportunity to get revenue that can, for many, save their season. The ticket revenue is split 45-45 as between the two teams. So you get a small club that draws 500, 1,000 spectators per match, and you get a third round game against a big club. You've got tickets, you've got revenue, and that can prop you up for the entire season. So replays matter, and some of the magic in those replays. And I'm disappointed. I'm in the camp that thinks that the league should have said something, but we elected not to last year when it was announced. Mansfield Town up 2 on Curzon Ashton, so that's no surprise there. Leyton Orient up 1-0 on Boreham Wood, no surprise there. As far as other matches that you can see that happened, I think earlier on today, because I believe that was today, the first game of the day. Birmingham doing enough against Sutton United, the relegated National League Sutton United, so doing their stuff. And the battle, I want to bring this one up just so that I can see it. Gotta love that, don't you? Is there anybody who would ever cheer for Franchise FC? I mean, I don't have a problem with a team being started anew, but then you start at the bottom and you climb your way up. And if that owner wants to prop that team up and pay them professionally from tier 10 through, and they just dance their way through the top, I don't have a problem with that. But I do have a problem with the Dons being stolen from Wimbledon. But the Wombles score too early, red card in the 71st minute, and it looks like, I mean, look at those stats. 18 shots to 2, 9 shots on target. Beautiful day in Toronto. How's the Horde? I don't know. Should I bring up pictures and images of my house? No. We're in the midst of, I mean, my mic is? Oh, the mic in the game. Yes. If you're watching the women's match, the sideline, the microphone is hot, and so it's picking up everything that's going on right in front. Adam Cruz, and a fascinating topic, that one, right? To me, I think it's a dangerous thing to have your cake and eat it too. And if I was the English, let's put on the cap for a second. And there have been a lot of people who have complained that the Welsh clubs, Cardiff, Newport, us, and Swansea, should be in the Welsh League. I don't think that's fair. They're all teams that helped build the EFL. They've earned their position. They're grandfathered in. They were invited. They've been good soldiers in setting things up. They get the benefit of competing in the league. But with the FA Cup, if you're looking for a pathway to Europe and you're going to play in the FA Cup, and you decide you're going to go with the Welsh Cup as your pathway to Europe, and you're going to play in that as an extra competition, I don't think that you should be playing in the FA. I don't. Maybe that's controversial. I don't know. I'm curious to hear what the locals have to say about it. But to me, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And I'm to understand. On your way to hockey, how's the game doing? 2-0 if you're eavesdropping and you're driving in the car. 2 goals early on, but 2 minutes apart prior to the 15th minute as the women are coming back out onto the pitch. It was Edendon with a build-up through the floor that was able to plot it. Both goals going into the left corner if you're facing it right, if you're the keeper staring out for Briton Ferry. One through beautiful build-up through the middle of the pitch that you think the Wrexham team, I don't know why they're sitting third bottom in the table was glorious, and then you pull off a glorious strike by Phoebe Davis that reminiscent of the Lily Jones one in the racecourse last year. This one from the right side plopped into the far net. So that's where the women are. Enjoy the hockey. I'm assuming you're playing at 7 o'clock in the morning, or the kids are playing or something. It can't be a game for even out on the West Coast or the East Coast this early on a I guess a Sunday matinee maybe. So the players are out. Hey, W&G, nice to see ya. And so the Wombles, they take care of business. And I'm just going to go take this one off for a second here. And we should be having our sound. So it looks like Mansfield should be in control. The second half getting started there. They're up 2-0 over Curzon Ashton on a red card. And I'm just going to... And I apologize for all the clicking around that's going to happen. It's a byproduct of Brendan being busy today. He will be with you for sure next weekend. I may be able to join. I don't know. Our renovations, the plumbing is done, the electrical is done, the flooring is done on the main floor, and 3/4 done on the upstairs. The kitchen cabinets are going in. All that's really left to do is when I say the electrical's done, we have to attach the lights, and we have to put together the furniture and do a whole bunch of like bathroom stuff. And so hopefully that's done by Friday. I don't think we'll get it all done, but we'll be 90%. But I'm exhausted, and I'm going to have about 8 hours of putting together IKEA furniture all day long. That's where my universe is. I just want to check. The FA, they're underway. Oh, and I didn't hit the score. Start. And I'm going to go with... I'm a little bit behind with the time, I think. So I'll advance that and we'll see where we go. So I'm going to keep an eye on the women's match while we also continue to go through the scores that I didn't get through and try and get the chat. There you go. Rotherham lost 2-1 to Luke Young's Cheltenham. Good stuff. Tamworth was another one. And I appreciate that, and I get the call, Adam. I'm just thinking, to me, and I'm going to have to move that up a little bit, so just give me a second. Well, where are you? I apologize for this. Trying to find where the bloody tar... I know it's working on my OBS because I can see it. And it's live because I can see it. What is going on? There we go. I'm just going to bump that up a little bit. Live while we're at it. And we're going to set that right near my ugly mug. Boom. Now you get to see all the magic live and in charge. So, and in effect, so first round proper, it's going to be all the teams that advanced forward. That's the 48 entries into this round. Plus, you're going to add the 40 from. Or the 48 from League 1 and League 2 and the 40 entries that had advanced through the qualifying rounds and had earned their way. Chester not being one of them, losing in the third qualifying round. In the second round, it's all the winners. So it's the 84 teams, or the 124 teams that gets whittled down from 80 to 84, and then no teams are going to join in the second round. And so they'll get cleared out from the 64 teams that remain in the second round down to 32, and then you will add 44 teams. Those being all of the EFL championship teams and all the Premier League teams are going to join into the third round. So that's the magic that you want to make to it. As far as winner prize money, this one far more financially beneficial to the players, and teams, sorry, not the players, but to the teams. As you've got prize money, the EFL Cup, the winner gets 100,000 quid. The champion gets 100,000 quid, not including revenue from attendance. The prize money is 100,000 quid. In the FA Cup, the first round winner gets 45,000 quid. The second round gets 75,000. So you make it to the third round of the FA Cup and you've made as much prize money as you get through the EFL Cup. It's why, for me, the EFL Cup is not really that important until you get through it. The trophy, less important, but when you have a team that's got a lot of depth, I'm okay with teams making it up and playing for the championship. I'm struggling this morning to speak. There's a lot of nonsense and rambling. I need more coffee. My question that I have, going back to the whale... Brendan, where's the good-looking guy? Chatting on his keyboard and failing to appear. No, I hope you're having a good one. Let's bring that back up. I want to keep this one there so everybody has the opportunity to connect with who needs to have it. That's who has it. Right there. Whatever country you're in, that's who has it. If you're in the US, you're going to go with ESPN. If you're in Canada, you're going with Sportsnet. South America, Disney Plus is your option. In the UK, ITVX. And so those are the ones that are posted. If you're not on that list, the only thing I can suggest is searching for FA Cup broadcasting rights in your country and Google it and see if you get a hit. Otherwise, you may be relying on... I don't think iFollow's even carrying it at all for anyone internationally, even if it's not there. But that would be the choice. But I'm hoping that covers off almost everybody going through that list. So go and do that. We were talking about, as we approach the 50th minute here in the Wrexham match, and it's been just sort of back and forth as between more possession for Wrexham and in control. If not in possession, at least in location of the ball. Is a misplaced header, and we've got Pritchard on the right-hand side, 18-yard box. Oh, was a beautiful attempt to try and get it through, but blocked, and she had both Adendon and Rosie up working through there as Briton Ferry starts to bang it out the other way. My question for you guys is, why can't the Welsh Cup be akin to the EFL trophy? And what I mean is if the goal is building up Welsh football and the quality of it, why not give the U21s or the U23s an opportunity to play in the Welsh Cup? And so take our academy and Cardiff and Swansea and Newport's academies and have them play some of the men's teams and get that build up in that competition and turn it into something akin to that. I know that the Welsh clubs want to have improved European competition, and I don't object to it. Where I have the objection is, if you're going to make the jump to the Welsh Cup, you have to give up the English qualifying. You can't, and they were saying we won't qualify through the FA Cup, but we want to be able to play with it. Will you confirm? That's my understanding of the conversations that have been occurring. And for me, I'm saying you got to have your cake and eat it too. Who is streaming it in Eritrea? You're going to have to Google it. And an interesting one, my boys have 1% Eritrean in them. And I thought that specific. Mostly Egyptian, but Eritrea being right there. iFollow will be audio only. And why do that if you've got me, right, Adora? But yes, Brendan, enjoy your day. Feel free to check in. And yes, we talked about that one earlier. If the day ends in a draw, we have... Brendan, hit the like button before you leave. If the day ends in a draw, we have to play extra time. And if that stays a draw, they'll go to penalties. And I think there's been 2 matches that have gone to penalties. I'm going to go through the first round proper and just pull these ones forward. So the lowest team still alive, I believe, is from the 7th tier, and that's Gainsborough Trinity, who had Hednesford Town away. And they were able to win 5-4 on penalties after 4-4 was not enough. And I think other than them, Harborough Town is still in, having beat 6th tier Tonbridge Angels away 4-1. So they walked away with that one. Kettering Town in the 7th round. Ooh, another upset of Northampton Town. So that's 3 teams in the 7th tier, and I think that's the lowest. Any other 7th tiers? Kettering Town. Let's bring. There's an easy way to answer that question. Horsham was in the 7th round. They lost. I don't even want to pronounce it. Stevenage beat Geesley in penalties 5-4 at home. So needed some luck there, did Stevenage, to be able to pull that one out. But 3 teams from the 7th tier have survived into the 2nd round. 3 matches have gone to penalties. Thank you, W&G, for pulling that one. And lots of goals in added extra time. I want to bring that one up. That's probably been the fascinating part to me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 that ended in added extra time. 9 went to added extra time. So 66% of them scored late. 3 of them had to go to penalties. And so that's a stat to kind of look at going forward. The only other game that's left to play other than us is 6th-tier Chesham United hosting Lincoln City in Chesham. So that'll be a big match for them. Opportunities for Wrexham all over and swarming, continuing. Phoebe Davis, no, that's over to the right-hand side and fed in and too far. I don't know the solution for that one. Click on videos, and then I think you have to hit on the men's. There's a sub. I think there's a sub menu halfway down the page, and you can click on that. A third round draw against Cardiff or Swansea is your dream for the season. See, my dream of the season is to make it to the point where we're making 450,000 quid by making it to the quarterfinals and having some fun with a couple of Premier League wins. Let's get into it. The big news that I haven't even talked about is the new Wrexham owners. A score dropped in, and I missed that one. Second time offer. I didn't see. I looked away when the first option didn't go in. It looked like Rosie scored that one, and I'm gonna have to get the highlights. Oh no, it's all Fuller. Left footer into the back of the net. We're up 3-0. 54 minutes and 24 seconds. I'm ahead. I think that they're behind because and CWG, that's the problem that I have with losing it. I mean, you look at the money and revenue that's there, and it's stark. I mean, for these clubs, the 7th round clubs that just put 45,000 quid in their back pocket, and that's not including the ticket sales. That's just from their winning in the first round proper. They've put 45,000 quid in their back pocket. That is massive. And getting the attendance to have another replay and score the extra attendance, both the share that they take, 45% away and 45% back at home. You draw a third round proper. It doesn't even have to be that. With League One, you draw a game against Birmingham or Wrexham, and you're going to go from having 350, 400, 500 spectators to having 13, 15, 20,000, and you're going to split that attendance. You get into the Premier League teams, and you get one of those massive handball. Not called handball by Briton Ferry, but it's going to continue, and it's going to just be a throw-in for us. So the football gods corrected that one. And I don't know why you got filtered there, so let's see W&G. Can I unfilter? No. Sorry, I can't. So you'll have to try that one again. I'm interested in the chat as to, and maybe I put a poll. Let's put a poll. Because I'm curious of the take. We're going to ask the question. Start a poll. Should Wrexham play in the Welsh Cup? And the answers will be yes, as long as they play in the FA. Or I'm going to put yes and the FA too. No. Because the question that we don't know asking that question is, should Wrexham play in the Welsh Cup, is whether they'll be also in the FA. And so some people will say, how do I have two no options then? because I'm curious what people's thoughts are on the poll. And so what I've put there is, yes, in the FA 2, they should play in both. Yes, even if not in the FA. No, can't risk losing the FA Cup. And then finally, it doesn't matter. For me, I know the preference would be playing both. But because you get the revenue from the FA Cup and you get the easier European pathway by going through the Welsh Cup. No disrespect to the Welsh Cup, but that's an easier pathway than playing in the Prem teams to try and find a way through, right? But I find it risky that because if I was the FA, I'm saying you make the decision and we'll make the decision afterwards. And if we knock you out of it, then that's on you guys. Congratulations, you have your Welsh Cup. So it's no revenue except for what you think you're going to get from your European qualifiers. I wouldn't want to take that on. That's just me. The answer is yes, and disregard the rest of the poll. And so what happens if that's a good question and a pertinent one. I don't have the answer for the ticket revenue share or for the lower rounds, because for the Welsh clubs, you're going through the qualifying rounds. You're not qualifying in the higher ones where you're walking straight into it. And it's for the... They've now got 3 competitions. They've got the Champions League, they've got the Europa, and then they've got the Europa League, which is the lower level ones. Chelsea is in that one, is the only sole English team that's in that one. Hey, Tony, nice to see you again. And so it won't be as rewarding, I don't think, as the FA Cup. That's my take. I mean, it's the oldest domestic cup competition in the world. It's got so much history. It's got the revenue. It's got the capital. For me, I don't get it. We're gonna have a sub. Davies is coming off, and Sharp is going on. Yeah, it's interesting. I know that they're going to be getting ticket revenue, right? And I guess the advantage is you've got multiple games. It's not just a one-game competition. Like they're going to have I think it's 3 home games that are coming through, and they've decided to go to a larger stadium to be able to pull in more revenue. So they'll be doing their thing. I don't know. It's a fascinating thing. I'd put a poll up about the the penalties solving this match rather than going to a replay and get everybody's take on that. But I would be shocked if there would be a single person. I think that, to be fair, I think there's some North Americans that could say, I don't feel comfortable voting. But I think it would be either a horrible decision or not my place to comment would be I think the answers that you would see from everybody. 61 minutes going by. We are getting close. I'm going to have to bring up the Sportsnet one as we're getting close, and I'm going to have to leave. How am I going to do this? I've left it too late. You've got to go to your provider. I'm going to bring up the links. If you are joining us late and you're looking to try and join this one, not on iFollow, and so you're going to have to find your link at one of the sites next to us. So if you're in the US, you're going through ESPN again. If you are... And I was signed in yesterday, and it's kicked me out, and now I'm nervous. Watch it say, sorry, we don't like you this morning. If you're in the South America, you're looking for a Disney Plus option. If you're in the UK, ITVX is your option. By all means, you can sit here and stay with us. And I'm actually going to take just a really quick walk. Oh, of course. We don't know who you are. Check who you are by going to our website. While this is coming through, I am going to rock over and grab my headset, which I got to put on. No, I can reach. So 3-0, we're going to leave that one. And I'm going to get rid of the scoreboard. I left this too late. It's a messy, messy day setting things up without... Let me go to... Turn that off. Nope, not wrong one. All right. Sorry, guys. If you're joining late, I'm setting up the scoreboard and having to do it live because I've had it with the Briton Ferry match. We're leaving that one in the 60th minute, sitting at a 3-0 lead for Wrexham, who have dominated and played exceptionally well. And I need to find a way to bring my editor mode out. There we go. Yeah, finally, I found it. And it takes a little bit of time for me to do this because it's not all instinctive to me anymore. As we've got Harrogate there. We've got Wrexham here. Wrong way. And we should be good. I can turn that back on. And we can get into this game, I'm hoping, before kickoff. Hi. Not the prettiest transition and production has it been. Missing Brendan. Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go. We're good. All is right with the universe, other than I still don't have a stream, but we will figure that out. All will be good. Ignore the clicking about, and we will get into this, and it will be just as it always is. That's the mojo that we're talking about. All right, and I'm gonna have to mute the women's match, but we will try to check in on that one, and if you are watching that one and you can update with the score, feel free to do so. I'm going to go to Sportsnet, and I can use just this headset, and so let's do that. And so it looks like I've got the standard coverage. Ooh, the volume. Fascinating. The broadcaster saying, if you're not going to be playing a Premier League team, this is the next best option, isn't it? I would agree with that. As Elliot Lee out there cheering on the fans, and this is what I mean. I enjoyed the Briton Ferry match. Kudos to the women for finding a way to rescue their season. 3 games ago, things were looking really ugly for the women, and as it sits right now for them, a lot better. A lot better. Having pulled off, this would be their 3rd win in 4 matches, and climbing from sitting at 3 points to they'll be 9 points at the end, and only depending on what happens elsewhere, anywhere from 2 points or higher into getting into the top 4. So that's different. Paul Mullen with the armband today. McLean out, as we said, to getting the day off. Let's bring up the lineup here for us. Let's bring... There's the lineup for us. If you joining us late, really what you'd expect, almost just a couple of changes from the regular lineup. Revan in instead of McLean, who's getting the day off. Other than that, you've got who's the other change? Oh, Lee getting the day off, and instead you're getting Dobson on the back, Rathbone, it looks like, taking that spot up for Lee on the left, and Cannon in his regular position. As they're making their way out, Weatherby Stadium. I don't remember their kit looking this spectacular last season for Harrogate. They've got sort of the Castrol looking, except yellow and black, similar to what ours are with the livery through the middle. We're wearing the red. Here I put gold on, and now I feel like I'm in the wrong color. Bring up the chat. Get the stadium going. There, thank you for that one. Patrick saying US viewers, you can grab a live stream through Hulu if you need to. I'll bring up for those that are logging in late. That's where you need to go. That's probably the best announcement of the day, right? WG, Wimbledon being crowned officially as the true Wimbledon club. Thumping the Dons, 2-0. Red card in play as the players all shaking hands. The Emirates FA Cup livery is out there. 45,000 quid on the line for this one. And then they'll split the ticket revenue from a sellout. A small league team away in round 2. Yeah, there's only 3 from tier 7, so there's not going to be a lot there. 3-1. The fascinating thing, Harrogate, as much as they're not scoring, they're not giving up goals either. And so I think that we're looking at 2-0 at best. I think this is going to be a 1-0 grinded out, look comfortable all the way through sort of game. I would be shocked if we're playing a 3-4-3. Is that what the broadcast said, as we were playing a 3-4-3? 4-4-2 for them. And no, it's the standard 5-3-2. And so it'll be Barney and Revan as the wingbacks running up and down, Tony. If Clueworth, O'Connell, and O'Connor will be our 3 in the back, with O'Connell being the anchor in the middle. And then you've got Dobson and Cannon. And I assume Rathbone's going to be on Lee's spot over on the left-hand side, normally working with McLean on that wing. This time it's going to be Rathbone and Revan working on that wing. And so we'll see how that all transpires and trickles down. The flooring on the main floor is finished. The carpet was sweating through the new furnace. If you don't know, I'm going through a home renovation. Just a couple of reminders. The like button down below. Smash it. Let everybody know that we're here, especially because covering the women's match and having a long build-up. Some of the regulars logging in late. I'm sure that that's the case. And so just make sure you don't forget to do that. And also, thank you to Ultimate Promotions as we get ready for kickoff. If you're looking for pins, go to them. Ultipromo.com, ultimatepromotions.biz, and we're going to get Wrexham going from right to left on your computer screen, Harrogate from left to right. Hopefully you're all able to find that. I'm going to leave that up for a little bit before you get my ugly mug on full display, the big wide shot in the screen. So go and check those out. Live Soccer TV as we're underway. Wrexham with possession, right footer. I'm going to put my glasses on for a little bit, as it seems a little... Well, it makes sense. It's a little dark. Hard to see some of the numbers, and so I'm going to need all the help I can get on this one. Don't mind me. They're crooked because... Lads. That's fascinating. I didn't see the game of Obsidian, so you're going to have to tell us. Birmingham took Sutton United out, by the way. National League squad this year. 1-0. It's Sportsnet World. Sportsnet World, that's the kicker. $34.95 a month. Canadian. I know that's $2 US. No, it's $25. It's not cheap, and so it's got to be Sportsnet World. Harrogate with possession early, first minute coming through, and I didn't change the logo on my telescore to put the FA Cup logo. I put the League One logo, but you'll have to just deal with that. And I don't have the FOTMob stats up to help me out. Just give me a second here to get everything all. And the one thing that I haven't talked about either is Wrexham beer coming to Canada. Is that more important? Or is it the $2 billion Allen family signing up? Chan, 안녕하세요. 잘 지냈어? Call to Amazon Prime and order. Yeah, no, get it in there and figure out if you can get Amazon World. I paid for it direct, but however you can end up picking it up. Again, if you're new streaming options here for everybody, it won't be through your regular manner, of course. Mullen not able to knock that one down. It's going to get forward to Rathbone, who loops it forward a little bit far for Revan, who's got a new haircut. Seb. Revan? The throw-in, headed easily the other way by Dobson. Gets it back. Dobson looking to the inside. Gets it to Cannon, middle of the field. 40 yards out, draws it back, and you've got it left-hand side, and that's going to be EOC searching. Got O'Connor to his left, Cleworth to his right. Defers. The FA Cup is, and that's not going to, too much. I got to shrink this down. Opportunity, Palmer brought in, forces the save. Well done with an opportunity there. And the Wrexham fans in full voice. Barney loops that one over. Palmer settles it down, gets it to Cannon. He's got Barney coming down the wing, but instead he feeds it up to Mullen. Mullen finds Barnett. Now we're 20 yards out. That came forward quickly. Barney looking for some service. Give me some magic, and they know what he's doing. So two men come all the way out to cover him up, so he draws it to Cannon. Cannon into the box. Mullen with the spit. Mullen blocked away. Crossed over. Palmer! And up and almost out of the stadium. But 3 early opportunities for Wrexham, 3:33 in. 3 chances, 3:33 in, and you'll take every one of them. Rathbone laid it up for Mullen, a great save going to the left and knocked down. And we talked about the keeper earlier on, 74.5% save percentage. That's solid. I mean, that's pretty damn close to Algonquin numbers in League 2 for last year. So you can't... But Belshore doing his thing. Where are we? There we are. Opportunities, right? Quenchanso. A little bit of Korean there for Jan, who can frequently joins us as Revan gets an opportunity left-hand side, and it's tipped away from Asari. He's one of the 2 players that I think that they're looking for stuff from. On the right and the left-hand side, you're going to be looking at number 9 and number 2. Who came over from QPR, and I'm missing the other one that... But they were the new signings that were supposed to improve Harrogate, and they haven't been getting minutes, and they've brought them in for this one, I'm assuming, to try and get them fired up as Asare, number 2, Duke McKenna, the numbers to watch. Belshaw with it for the keeper, right footer, thump down the center of the pitch. EOC looking to get it there, heads it down, but it's taken quickly by Taylor, who advances it forward, and it ends up bouncing over to the right-hand side where Cornelius, number 8, goes 18 yards out, draws it back to Asari, moves it forward to Muldoon. Asari, Cornelius. All 25, 30 yards out, the 3 of them playing in a triangle with... Revan and Rathbone defending it with O'Connor, and it's just stripped and away we go. Easy as. The icing on the cake. Revan with a new haircut. It looks good. It looks good. And if... I would love to do this if it made the money that I can't. I'm stuck in a career. No, I enjoy my job. One of the things I have been looking at, I do like going to school, and I got to convince my wife to do this after the move in and we go through the expenses, is I'd like to take a master's in sports governance part-time. Write some things, do some things, continue to do this, and the content of that could fill this, and I think that'd be fun for 2 years, get myself a master's, just for giggles, just because it's fun to learn things, but we'll see what happens there. Wrexham with it, getting it up over the top. Asari not able to get there, doesn't have to get there, it's going to go out for a goal kick. And I will say, one of the things that I always love is when the stadium isn't square to the pitch anymore. You know that some of these stands have been built years ago, and you look at that one behind the net, and it's not square, or doesn't look square to the pitch. Neither does the center stadium. It looks a little over to the right, and then you have a small little one that's sitting down. All of these random stands. The LWC Hospitality Suite just sort of sitting out there in 2 tranches. I love it. The quirkiness of stadiums in the UK. there's been talk about that, Don, and as I understand it, no guarantee. If we do qualify through the Welsh Cup and we play in the Welsh Cup, that would be the reason to do it. Is A, you're improving it, and B, it's an easier pathway. What we'd have to give up is the opportunity to qualify through the FA Cup, and I don't think that would necessarily be a problem, because I think Swansea once has had an opportunity to steal an opportunity from, and I'm trying to think of what year that was. Remind me down below. 20, 30 years ago, had an opportunity to steal a spot through the FA Cup. The Welsh teams have said they'd forgo that option. I think for the Welsh clubs, it's really about the guaranteed funds. They want the revenue that the FA Cup generates, as it's a massive amount of money. D. Foster, morning, afternoon, and evening, and it's down Mullen. Oh, and it came back on a weird bounce. I didn't even have time to react to. Is it O'Connor ends up getting it to Mullen, and he had the chance. I think he's going to be frustrated. Mullen had that, knocked it down, left it there, right footer, right from the D, and he just pounds it to the left. Why? That was a better chance even on replay than I thought. Why? Like, that wasn't close. Ugh. Is all I have to do to describe that one. Is Palmer set it up on a tee for him, a sitter. It was right there, set up for him, and he right footer. The homing missile not programmed correctly, and it came off with a full force, but off target and to the left. Massively less money in the Welsh Cup than the FA Cup. I mean, it's not even close. Let me see if I can bring those numbers up again as to where the revenues are. $45,000 to win this round. You get to the fourth round, it's 120,000 quid for the winner. You get to the semifinals, $1 million quid for the winner, and you win the whole thing. It's 2 million quid. You compare that to the EFL Cup, it's 100,000 quid for the winner. And other than that, it's just attendance split. And that prize money completely ignores the attendance split. And I get that, Alex. In a perfect world, you get your cake and eat it too. You qualify for Europe through the Welsh Cup. You get the chance to go through the FA Cup and make your money. If I'm the English, though, I'm telling you to pound sand. I'm saying you're not getting your money if you're going to go and you're going to not play in the FA Cup. You're in the FA Cup because of your history with playing in England and building the EFL. And I kind of get the argument. Palmer had it over on the right-hand side, 9 yards out. It gets kicked out. It's going to be a throw-in. It may be controversial, and who am I as a Canadian to speak for the Welsh and the English? I can just see the argument being made as it was thrown in, knocked back, and then put straight out, and so Harrogate's going to grab it and collect it and go the other way. Going back, I'm going to kick this one off. If you've joined late and you're still looking, that's where you need to go to be able to pull the right lineup. And if you're not able to pull it, I'm going to yank that one out and go with my big ugly mug. You know what? Let's do that. I love the FA Cup too. Longest standing domestic cup competition in the world, as far as I'm aware and recall. And so, yeah, you want the damn thing to continue, right? And be a part of it, and for the revenue and otherwise. And so for me, without assurances from the EFL and FA that we'd be invited and welcome to the money, I would pass on Europe to play in the FA. Revan with an opportunity. Palmer set it up beautifully. Gets into the box, knocked down, and Mullen gets it. And what is Paul doing today? Left footer and sends it to the moon right over top. Now, he did have to get some lift because there was a defender that was right there, but he rushed that one as Revan brings it in, lays it off beautifully and it's just scooped up over top. He did have to get a lift because Asari was coming forward and taking it away, so he had to split the gap between the two, and he just couldn't get it down. And the likelihood of winning the FA Cup is near impossible, right? At least as it sits now. I mean, we've got big money now that we've got the the big pharma money from Welch Allen, their former company that they sold for just over $2 billion, $2.05 billion dollars as a minority stakeholder. Deflected Harrogate into the box. Dangerous opportunities. Cornelius has it, and Rathbone loses it. Cornelius over to Asari, 18-yard box. Revan out on him, and now Rathbone's got to come out and take on Cornelius, 22 yards. All the work on the right-hand side as Asari has it. Cornelius, they're getting backed up, and it goes to Muldoon, who's come over to assist. The three of them there, again, taking on the triangle, and another misplay. This time by Cornelius as he just advances it forward and out, and Ogonko goes and does his first bit of action. He has to go and collect a ball. Yes. Absolutely. If we, I don't want to, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be insulting as to our chances. But I would not be betting a lot of money on, well, that's the odds were exceptional. A lot of money on Wrexham winning the FA Cup this year. But I do want to push into fourth round quarterfinals. To me, you make the quarters, like that's epic for a League One team to get to the quarterfinals, be playing in a couple of top level competition and have a couple of wins from it. You'd be taking, that's good stuff, and I would take that. Welch Allen, we got that Wrexham Lager money. Oh yeah, that too. And I keep saying I wonder how that pairs with Clamato. 13 and a half minutes in, headed forward. Mullen trying to collect. It's knocked down by Moon. Talking about Moon and Harrogate, never a fun thing, but that's number 5 when I'm talking about the Moon. Gets it, advances it forward. The Wrexham fans, a little bit quiet. Are we nervy? Or are we just bored? Like button down below. Hit that one while you're at it as it's thrown in by Max, and it's headed away by Harrogate and Rathbone. Able to collect, he is. Nice little dance along the midfield stripe, and Duke McKenna not able to control him. Oh, I'm sure you would, Stephen. Now I'm curious what the odds are for Wrexham to win the FA Cup. Long switch. Palmer knocks it down. Cannon up over 18-yard box. Gets it out to Barney. A little bit of service. Puts it on up. Mullen's there. Header! Can't get contact. And the Bronx cheers are out for Mullen. And I'm curious to see how he takes it, is because that's been like 3-4 legitimate opportunities. This one not so badly missed. I mean, a difficult header to get to, but he got up there over top. I think he'd want probably a little bit more on it as he got there over top of O'Connor. But not able to get to it. Score of the women's match. I can pull that up really quickly. 3-0. Still 3-0. 85 minutes. If you've seen all 3 of those goals, then if you joined in late and you want to know how the women did, Edendon got the first one on build up through the midfield. Was able to plot it over into the left-hand side. It was the goal wasn't as magical as the build up was. The second one was magic. That was Phoebe Davis. And I forgot who the third goal scorer was. But Phoebe Davis scored very similar to Lily Jones's goal in the racecourse last year with the long looping shot from a distance, 40 yards out. And we're going to take a break as Revan goes into the 18-yard box, hammers it down, and it got deflected, and Palmer tried to drag his heels and leave his foot behind to pull it out and couldn't do it. And so it's just cleared down for a throw-in by Harrogate. Gorgeous opportunity there. And thank you. I think it is worth a shot for $20, even $100 maybe. Depending on what your disposable income looks like, and I don't want to encourage anybody to gamble. Do what you can, be within your means, but yeah, have some fun with it and put it on there. That'd be something. And then the third goal was in the second half, and it was I thought it was Rosie, but it wasn't. Was it Fuller? In any event, kind of a scramble in the box, and she was able to get the left foot on it and put that one in. So 3-0. Revan, 18-yard box. He's got Rathbone popping out behind him. He's going to try and get the crossbar post, and our 500 to 1. So if you put $500 down, add 2 zeros, that's going to be $50K, if my math is right, and that's Canadian. Well, I guess it depends on whatever currency you put into it, but. Is that announced? Did I miss it? Did I miss a signing? The Cardiff City captain coming over. Hold on. Harrogate into the box. 18-yard box. Mishandled. Misplayed. And you can't misplay when you've got us defensively around. Rathbone, Dobson, all in the neighborhood to collect that. Hey up! Matt Al, how are you? And sorry for not getting back to you, my friend. It's been madness. The question asked is when am I getting over to Wrexham? And the answer is let me overspend on my renovation and figure out what my finances are at the end of it. I don't know enough about Ramsey to be fair, other than him being the Welsh captain, or a Welsh national and the Cardiff captain. I don't know enough for him to go over as a January signing or otherwise. That was my call, 2-0, but I would take a 1-0, to be fair. Little bit of a flop there on Cleworth. 18 minutes, 13. If you're joining us late, what have we seen? Not a whole heck of a lot other than Mullen missing a couple of opportunities. He's had one moonshot that went over top. He had an absolute glorious setup from Mullen from Palmer, that from about 10 yards out, left foot boot and drilled it far to the left. And so we've been sniffing around the goal. Harrogate, haven't really had Ogonko tested and by any stretch of the imagination. And so far post is the peg on the free kick, and that he just flopped. Embarrassing flop. The crowd trying to get into it, and he's calling for it. He just throws the arms up. Number 5. I want that on the replay. Oh, he goes up and puts his hand on Palmer and then just goes, oh, give me the penalty call. My word. I would be embarrassed. We did. Matty James and oh my word. Bodnerson from Bolton, and they're both as subs in this match, so we may see both of them today, and I'm curious as to what they've got to have in them, especially the Icelander. He's got vision, is what he's got, and we haven't seen that as Mullen gets pulled down, and then it's kicked away by Harrogate. That should be a yellow card for the kick away there, as Mullen had an opportunity, slowed down the chance at midfield, played forward Asari, just giving him a shove. That's the part that we miss, isn't it? The only part that we miss. Sorry, Brendan. It's the flops. And we don't know exactly what that minority share is, right? Long ball searching over it. And he's got his jersey up around. He's wearing a crop top, sir. He's wearing a crop top because they had his jersey pulled, Palmer's, up around his midsection. And no call as that one goes out. And we're going to get a throw in for Wrexham. Oh, we're not getting a throw. Asari's getting in. Parky's into the ear of the Harrogate coach. And a free kick given in a dangerous territory as the referee not going in our favor and the crowd maybe working it as Muldoon goes down. To be fair, that's a legitimate challenge. It was just stuck in there a little late. Getting there was O'Connor and got him in the hips. And he just... that's going to knock you down, and that's a foul, so you give it to him, and it's 19 yards out, just to the right of the box. I think too close to get up and down. We'll see what Taylor's got. Duke McKenna's going to line up. I would assume a lot. I think there's more to come. Mad Al, you might want to fast forward. You're behind, my friend. If you're just talking about the hairstyle, or maybe you didn't hear me, maybe you're just noticing for yourself, but I definitely noticed that for sure. The wall getting organized, 3 players in it. And I don't think this is an up and down. I think he's... I think he's putting it into the box for play. Chip back post. No, he's going to try and pound it through the wall, and it gets blocked away easily. No harm, no foul. And he's got to clear it all the way back. And he put his keeper in dangerous territory. Belshaw had to go running, scrambling to go and get it. And then he danced around Mullen, who was all up there on the prowl. Fascinating stuff early on and a little bit ugly. The crowd is into this one and having themselves a laugh. A little bit frustrated that Mullen, now he's getting the Bronx cheer for every play that he's got. Barney doing a little dance loses the ball, gives it away. A flop. My word. And if you're Harrogate, go down. The referee's given them 2 soft calls and then 1 legitimate one, so you've had 3. So you go down. Wrexham FC. Sorry, blocked. Blocked again. Grabbed onto him, and it's going to be a corner over on the right-hand side. Rathbone working his hair down. Working his hair down? Working his rear off. Or Fletcher loses the man bun. There will be tears, Don Morgan. I am not... as far as the female gaze goes, I don't want to pretend to understand it or know it, but I do know this. Fletcher's bun satisfies the intrigue and interests of a lot of the finer sex. Cross over to the far post. Palmer not able to get there. And I hope the finer sex comment isn't an insult. It's only on ESPN Plus if you're in the US, Stephen. Yes, that's the only option available. Oh, Hulu. Hulu is the other option that we were told about down in the US. So going to go corner to corner. ITVX in the UK. Sportsnet Canada in Sportsnet World in Canada. If you're in the South America, you're going with Disney Plus, as we're going to go with a right-footed in-swinger from the left side for Harrogate. Oh, danger goal. Fuck me. How does he get that open in the box? How does he get that open in the box? 1-0. You saw that coming the whole way. Muldoon just coming from the far post, just looping middle of the pitch, and nobody picked him up, and he just went there and heads it. Heads it in. The balance shifting here with with momentum being built by the referee, and that's on Seb Revan, it looks like. Just, no. Yeah. Seb Revan just letting him go, and he just went forward and got his head on the ball. Easy as. Palmer tries to get there as he sees him, and it goes into the back of the net, and that's piss poor defending. It should not be that open, that close. Here comes Harrogate again, down the left side. 18-yard box chip, far post. Ogonkwo stands up, collects. My apologies for the language. I guess we're not going to have a PG-13 rating on this one. The curse of Muldoon strikes again. Mordor. Barney with it. 18-yard box, immediate answer. And those opportunities, Mullen tries to advance it on, and we just can't get anything in the final third. It's been headed over top. Mullen's headed over top. Mullen's blasted one to the left, blasted one over top. I'm curious if I go to the FOTMob chance on how many big chances they've given us. It's probably only 2, I'm going to imagine. Because we might be looking a little bit too favorably on it. Only 1 and 1 big chance miss, but 6 shots, 3 on target. My thoughts exactly, Woody. 1-0 on a Muldoon. Hey, I haven't played a lot of football, but I was always told in hockey you need to get at worst the inside shoulder of a man when you're facing a pass from the slot or from the wings. And Revan lost the inside shoulder, square at worst. And so Muldoon wide open, like Revan standing behind him. Palmer goes out to try to adjust to the ball, but can't get there in time. And it's just easy as and headed through. Epoxy resin. Could very well be. Possession, 56%, 44% for us. The momentum, and an interesting game because really the whole momentum that got built there was all Wrexham. And then the refereeing goes a little bit soft, gives up some calls. And that's going to be a throw-in as Barney loses 2. That's his second one he's lost, having a weak start over on that right side. And the frustrated part is it came from the officials, right? A couple of soft calls. The free kick that they had certainly deserved on that one, but the other ones were soft, and gave them extended possession, and then all of a sudden it ends up in the back of the net as a consequence of their second corner. Duke McKenna, the man who put that one forward, that's their signing, and I can't remember if Duke was the QPR man or not. Revan with it, left-hand side, bringing it down 18 yards out. He's got two men on him. He's waiting. Rathbone towards the goal line, collects it, looking back to Revan. Revan with it, getting support from O'Connor behind. Close to the goal line, 6 yards out now, and it's knocked out, and we'll get a throw in on the left-hand side. Searching. Not a lot of interplay there. Rathbone not getting open. TOC didn't come down to help out, so Revan just sort of left on an island to try and find a way to get across in. Not able to do it. Revan searching. There's a throw in, tries to find Mullen. He finds him, loops it forward. Rathbone had to put the boots down to make sure he didn't collide with somebody and gave up the ball as a consequence. TOC steps forward, gets contact, and then the free kick called our way. I think that one was soft, but we'll take it. I don't think it was McLean. I want to have a look at this foul again. Is a little bit of a push on the back, but I don't think much there from March. How about any games in Harrogate? I mean, I don't know what it is about playing in playing Harrogate, period. Is we just always look ugly, and the games look like they're stuck in the mud. There's just something against Harrogate where we're allergic to bright yellow. I don't know. Too many bee allergies and they're afraid of bumblebees? I don't know. But Barney with it, looking for a cross, lays it up. There's Clueworth into the box, headed away. Cannon tried to run over and catch it, can't. Clueworth knocks it down. Barney, 18-yard box. There's a sweep. Near post. There, Mullen, lots of space, can't get up there and jumped up too early, missed it, and Revan behind takes a foul. Paul missed that, judge that one. He went up and he was 2 feet too far to the right-hand side, and so the ball just loops over top. It just had to take one step to his left, and I know easy sounds easy when you're playing FA and you're watching everything, but to me, that's stuff that Mullen normally does. The color commentary, I don't know if you guys have the same broadcast as we have here, but making comment that Mullen and Palmer too static as the crosses come into the box, so they're standing still and they can't get their head on the ball. There's TOC with it. Nice little steal from him, gets it forward to Revan. Asari heads it away. It's got to be our throw, doesn't it? And it is. Good news is we'll always take it as thrown in and headed out, so we move 5 yards further up on the left-hand side. TOC looking to advance it up the field. We're entering into the doldrums here. Palmer forward to Mullen. Mullen leaves it back to Palmer. Palmer runs onto it. He's got Cannon on the far side, but he goes to Barney. Barney, 18 yards out, looking for the hook. He's got Duke McKenna. There's the loop. Palmer deflects and wide. Left side. That's been what it is. We're sniffing. We're around it. Objection sustained. Palmer had to run backwards to try to make contact with that one from Palmer, and so he ends up scooping it the other way. Yeah, we just have the trophy left if we go out on this one, right? Port Vale, and then back into the... It's 32. Round of 32 is how many teams are left, right? I believe. I don't want to say this one's over by any stretch. I mean, we're sniffing around and causing a lot of havoc. I can't. They've been struggling to score. That's the hard part about Muldoon scoring that one is just tell me I'm wrong. To those of you who have played, who have coached the game, I assume it's a lot like basketball and a lot like hockey. When you've got a net, is you always want inside shoulder in defense, and if that's the man you're marking, it's inside shoulder. And Revan lost it, and Palmer couldn't get there in time, and so it found the back of the net. Easy as. I mean, don't get me wrong. from Duke McKenna, who put that corner into the box. It was the right distance away from Okonkwo that he's not going to get out there. It was flat. It was good service. And good on Muldoon for making himself available, but also one that's a little bit frustrated in the coverage, at least as I see it. Final for the women, 3-0, so they're moving up. I actually guess they're not moving up, but they're still sitting 3 from bottom. A fascinating one. I don't think that who was that? O'Connor climbing the back of Mullen there. I don't think it was necessary to do that and still make contact with the ball, but I also don't think that it was necessarily a foul. Collected but laid up, difficult, tough one for Revan as it's banged off, and Muldoon objecting. He's acting like he hurt himself on that one, but it was a dangerous pass back to Revan, who all he has is the ability to slam the ball as hard as he can, and he does, and it goes out. And Asari gets it on the throw-in, and there's the Asari flop, not given. Well done by the official, and Revan has it. Revan gives it away. Couldn't get it to Palmer, and so dancing around, and that's Asari not able to get it free. 50-50 ball, scramble, 50-50 ball, contact made, they say, and EOC gives him an earful. I think that was a foul, but we'll see. That's what I think. Yeah, he stuck the legs in after the guy got framed out, and so I can see that he's frustrated. But it's also a free kick. I mean, Duke McKenna puts it into the box, headed away easily, but it comes out 30 yards. Back to Duke McKenna, 35 yards out, and he's going to put it back into all the forwards that were up there. That one's easily cleared away. Mullen advances it forward, but can't do any more than that, and it's kicked back all the way to Belshaw. Belshaw turns it up. 35 minutes coming up here. We need a little bit of let's go. Get in. Come on, Wrexham. Palmer goes up to collect. Ball hits the turf. Palmer in a battle. Scramble. Holds off Cornelius, and well done. Advances it. Meh. Nothing there. Tanzania. I know we don't have that one on the board, so that would make it 58 countries for Tanzania. Just south of Kenya. There it is. Yeah, don't have it scratched off. Appreciate that. We'll add that one to the equation. Thanks for joining. And I don't know who's broadcasting it in Tanzania. Revan with it. Left-hand side. Gets the loop up. It's knocked down. Dooley with it, far left-hand side now for Folds advancing it forward to Duke McKenna, Duke McKenna, that signing that they've had, who hasn't been getting a lot of minutes, has actually looked very good. I haven't been impressed by Asare on the opposite side, who's playing as a right back in their 4-4-2, but he's looked good. Tussled locks. O'Connor with it, advances it forward. That's what we needed. Talking about Boyle's tussled locks is just the way to change the mojo that's going on in this one. And what was that from EOC as he gives it away on a weird deflection? Harrogate with possession. Cornelius, he's looked horrible. He's been owned every single time. I like Cornelius touching the ball because he can't. Nice little pass forward to Palmer, and the flag goes up. So they'll go for a goal kick because he knew he was offside and was staring over at the flag, and he held up. We had Bulgaria a couple of weeks ago, and prior to Bulgaria, what was the one? Andorra. Small little country nestled between Spain and France, and I don't know why, but I've always been fascinated by it, and I do want to go there. 36 minutes, 37 minutes in. And I can't say that we've been horrible, but it's just a stuck in the mud, can't do anything. Balls landing, fortunate for them, is here's the perfect example, is 3 little bounce arounds, and it ends up being in the middle of the pitch, cleared back to Asari, who gets it up to Duke McKenna, who's come over to the right-hand side for a visit. Duke McKenna, he's everywhere. Found March with it, right-hand side, back to Muldoon, gets it to Asari, far left sweep, and is the switch on. I wouldn't do it as you have nobody over there. Duke McKenna had made his way over to the right, so now you've got to possess the ball a little bit to give everybody an opportunity to control. Moon does. Gets it forward, midfield stripe, draws it forward, folds. Well, scratch that off. Yeehaw! I think I got that one in the first game, to be fair. But, man, you're special. We'll count it anyway. The possession. This is good news. We're starting to lose the possession battle. And so if that needle changes, that's something to look out for, is Clueworth has to go and play it, and does well over near the corner to lay it off and get it to Barney, who tries to push it up forward. Mullen gets taken out, and then they just collect it, and away they go. We can't build up through the midfield, and when we get to the final third, we can't do crap with it. That's how this game's gone so far. And there's a hoof ball that goes right to Ogonkwo. Where we were succeeding in the first half was we had the confidence to go through the floor. And we just haven't had that opportunity to get the chance. Some of them have been clearances, to be fair, and hoping that Palmer can hold it up or Mullen can dig it out, but they haven't had that chance. Duke McKenna sounds like a 40s jazz saxophonist. Well, he's been playing a mighty fine tune, unfortunately for us. Too much possession. It is the reason. Opportunity here, goal line, save it, go out of play, flag goes up, goal kick, Mullen just gives the thumbs up as the brief foray that we've had in the last 10 minutes into the final third. Run forward, Mullen knocks it first touch a little heavy, and it just runs too fast and goes out wide a goal. And so it'll be Belshaw with it to get us back underway. $40 minutes coming up, 5 minutes and a half. Would like to see a late goal to get us into it, or at least some continued pressure. I mean, you look at the shots on goal, 8 shots on goal, 3 on target, 1 big chance, and it was missed. I'm curious as to which one they say was the big chance. I'm assuming that's the Mullen left-footed thumper from about, and that's just cleared out. EOC clears it out, and I'm not so sure it's the injury, and maybe it's just League One's too much. You got to ask the question. Maybe that's a poll question. Oh boy, John. Bold call. Bold shout. I mean, something has to happen. So, Bodferson and Fall? I mean, oh, we got a free kick there. Expected goals were way up, 0.91 to 0.21. Accurate passes 133. We're at 77%, which is well above the average, the season average. So statistically, we're doing our thing. The difference has been we've had opportunities sniffing around goal, and our efficiency is nowhere close. I mean, we were as high as 44% efficiency at the start of the early on in the season. I know that we were down to about 36. I think we're probably down to 33%. Ogonko asked the question. A long looping ball goes over to the left-hand side, and again, Muldoon able to get it. And looking for Mullen, wasn't able to find him, but it's cleared out, and Rathbone collects. Rathbone challenged. Could have gone to ground and taken the flop and the foul, but doesn't. Good on him to fight through and gets it back to O'Connor, to EOC, and we're going to build up here. EOC over to the right side. 47% of the ball has been on the right-hand side as far as attacking. Cannon with it. Right-hand side. Dobson comes over in support. He's going to draw it back to EOC as it switches on to the left-hand side. Rathbone makes himself available, but instead it's going to go to TOC, who advances it forward to Revan. Revan over to Rathbone. 35 yards out now. Eking our way forward. No, we'll come back, and the switch will go the other way. EOC sees something through the middle, finds Palmer. Bad first touch, so all he can do is get it back to Dobson in the middle of the pitch. Flat ball over to Barney. Right-hand side, 18 yards out. Duke McKenna with him. Blocked. Give Duke McKenna credit. I got to look this kid up because I know that he was a signing for them, but I forget. where he came from, and that's thrown in. Palmer with an opportunity, headed down, nothing. And it's just cleared away and then knocked out, and it's going to be a throw-in for Harrogate about 25 yards out. Hey, Mansfield, how are you? Got a proper pitch yet? Next weekend it'll be fun. I won't be here for the one next weekend, and that's the unfortunate part. The one game that I really wanted to do, and I can't do it because I'm moving. I'm hoping I can wake up at 4:30 in the morning, but probably not after the move. Little bit of possession, two minutes until we find out how much added time. Shouldn't be much, maybe 2 minutes of added time, the goal, and then a brief little foray of injury time. And Revan has it, 18-yard box, and just he's got 2 men on him. I find that they're slow in getting him support, but he got the cross in. It's still in the box. Mullen couldn't get it. Palmer can't get it. It's going to fall down. Barney's going to serve it up to Mullen, and it's collected. I don't like the fact that without Lee on that left-hand side and with Rathbone eking this place, I haven't seen our left wing back on an island, or any of our wingers on an island, as frequently as I've seen Revan, but he still got the cross over there, but just not able to collect it. Frustrating is this one. Yeah, I was referencing the pitch. And I love the history of the stadium. I just think that the money had to go into the pitch. I haven't heard anything about the Stockport match. Wouldn't I be relying on you for the Stockport match? Or are you talking about whether I'll be available? I should be available for that one. I'm hoping. I don't think the nursery /studio /office will be ready. Midfield stripe. Halfway line. O'Connor draws it back to EOC, who's going to build forward. He sees something on the right-hand side with Barney. Barney's going to go out there. He's got folds on him. He's one-touch volley, and he can't get it forward to Cannon. And they're going to kick it out. Barney tries to leave it there, and he can't, as Duke McKenna's there. So McClueworth has to step up, and here comes Duke McKenna. Ooh, lucky there that it rolled out. Don't have anybody to give a sober second thought on this one. Stephen Duke McKenna, he was the young signing from QPR. I had that right. Sorry, he was from Maidenhead United. So he came up looking good down below as a center back. But Stephen Duke McKenna came up and not getting a lot of minutes. And I don't know if that was injury related or performance related. But I figured that he and Asari coming into the lineup was because they've been... Yeah, not confidence inspiring, right? If you're Mullen and you're looking to find yourself playing a League 2 team, you'd expect something. Revan lays it up. Palmer, middle of the box, find it. Blocked. Knocked down, sliding tackle. They say took too long. That wasn't the best chance of the game. Second best. Mullen still was, but Revan gets it up to Palmer, right-footed, 2 people around him, and it was... He says it took too long. I don't have a problem with the pace, or with the pace that he had to play it. I just think that he had the block, and I don't know where he goes with that one, to be fair. That was Moon rescuing it there from the depth. Only 1 minute of added time is expected, and so we're going to get a whistle down here relatively quickly. Unless we get into scoring opportunity, as it's going to be O'Connor. Clueworth advances it forward. Duke McKenna steps in front and go the other way on the counter-attack. Duke McKenna has just been absolutely freaking everywhere. I don't know why your message was deleted, Marcus. That wasn't me. Or did you delete it? Stream Elements grabbed one. You deleted the other. The bot won't get you the capital letters. That's why we didn't make it. But I said your other comment that I can't do, you can't go next week. I'm off to Poland tomorrow. Enjoy it and have a good one. That's the half. What do we say about it? Boo-earns. what do we... I mean, we've had our chances. I'll bring the stats up here momentarily. Just stick with me as I make sure we're all set up for the second half. Crud is what I got to say about that first half. I mean, the goal was a mistake. They certainly set it up and did what they needed to do. It was a great corner from Duke McKenna. It landed on Muldoon's head. Revan gave up the inside corner, and it was an easy collect and pot for Muldoon. Palmer tried to get there to stop it and adjust to the track and trajectory of the ball, but wasn't able to do so, and so 1-0 for them. For us, what did we have? We had that Palmer opportunity late that they say was the best opportunity of the game. I don't even think that'll register as a big chance. I'm curious to see whether it did, and I'll bring up the stats momentarily. It's not registered at the moment as a big chance. The only big chance that was registered so far was the Mullen opportunity, where it was laid back by Palmer for Mullen to step into with his left foot, and he did, and he thumped the tar out of it. The problem is he shanked it off the left side of his foot, and it did the hook and missed the net wide. So no opportunity there. First half highlights. And so we'll watch some of these as they go through and get reminders of other opportunities that they missed. And then Mullen's had some other opportunities. One that he had to split two defenders and it went a little high. I get why that happened. Maybe a little bit better touch and it could have been asked on. You had the Palmer flick on within the first. We had 3 chances in the first 3 minutes and 33 seconds. The Palmer header on a Clueworth service into the box that he flicked on and was easily collected. Just not power. Cannon then serving it up. Gets it into the box for Rathbone, who leaves it to Mullen, and Mullen right-footed and great diving stop, and that one was not easily stopped, impressively stopped by Belshaw, who was good, and especially early on, those first 3 chances certainly asked the questions, right? Yeah, it was, I mean, that one, Mullen hit it well, just a better save. And so, other than that was it for the chances. Other than the one that I talked about Palmer leaving it back for Mullen, and that was the one. Oh, was that a right-footed screamer that went to the left? I thought it was left-footer. I'm gonna watch the replay. Doesn't get great contact. He thumped the tar out of it. It was his right. He thumped the tar out of it. Had open space, sitting 19 yards out of goal, and he misses the net by 4 feet. That's the frustrating part. And so the outstanding early pressure, and then Revan just loses his man, and Muldoon plots it into the net, and not much Ogonko can do on that one. Raise your hands in frustration as that one goes in, and not a good first half by any stretch. Muldoon outdoing Mullen. Underwhelming is certainly the word. I'm going to grab this and put it in the right different channel so I can bring this forward to look at. And I'll see if I can bring these stats in so everybody can look at them. There they are. So you can see the possession on our side, expected goals 1 to 0.21. They didn't count that last opportunity that the broadcaster said, here it is again by Palmer, was their best chance. They say he took too long. He had a first touch that was a little bit behind him, had to drag it forward, kind of did a stutter step before he was able to put his right foot into it. And by the time he did that, Folds got up there and knocked it free, deflected it out, and it just was an uneventful outcome. So 9 total shots, you'll take that. 3 shots on target. We had a couple of misses from Mullen. Big chances, 1 apiece. They scored on theirs. We missed on ours. The accurate pass is pretty bloody close, 176 to 151, and not a single corner. No sustained pressure. Opportunities were there, but it was a one and done, and you go home. Our expected goals in open play, all of it through open play, because we haven't had a free kick at goal and we haven't had a corner. So we'll see how things all build up going through this one. As far as the interceptions and the duels, we're winning on the duels. We've had a lot of successful dribbles. We've looked a better squad, but at the end of the day, if you can't put it in the back of the net, Kim, what happens if you can't put it in the back of the net? I know you know. You don't win. And so that's just sort of the rundown there. We've already gone through the scoreboard largely for the start of things as far as current games going on. Boreham Wood actually came back against Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient picking up a tie, so they're into AET. That I'm going to have to watch the replays. When we left that one at the half, the women winning 3-0, and we bounced over to this one, we looked at... Leyton Orient is down a man. Leyton Orient was up 2-0 into the second half, and Boreham Wood scored in the 69th minute and in the 85th minute, and now a red card picked up by Leyton there at 110th minute of added extra time, and the shots on that were dominating one way over. The only good news so far this entirety of the game are two things: the Wrexham women win, and Wimbledon wiped out. And we've bounced around. Which game are we watching now? My feed. Northampton. Flag went up for offside. This is highlights from up to the previous game. No offside. Shouldn't have been offside. No offside there. And so if that... Is that why Northampton got eliminated? Was because of that offside call? Fascinating stuff. That's heartbreaking frustration. I'm getting highlights from elsewhere, and that's fine. Can Wrexham play up the middle? They did in the first 10 minutes, and then it got away from it. 0 corners won by Wrexham, 0 corners earned, 0 corners to show for it. We'll do better second half. 28 to 35% possession, bring up the efficiency. Let's bring up the... Just to look at the subs, so that you guys can consider what your options are. There we go. And if, by the way, as I see 177 of you over watching on X, feel free to jump over onto YouTube, take part in the chat, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, let the algorithm gods know that we're there. I'm glad that you're there and you're getting the information, but youtube.com @the Red Horde. As for our options coming off the bench, I mean, we're not really looking at Boyle, are we? Or Scar coming in at the back, but you've got McLean sitting on the left-hand side if you feel the need to bring him in instead of Revan. I wouldn't say Revan has been at fault. He's had a couple of missed touches in the back, but and other than the goal, going forward, it hasn't been a problem. Defensively, he did lose his player there, frustratingly so. I kind of want McLean to take the day off. I mean, if I know for sure bringing him in is going to get us a win, then by all means bring him in. But I'd like to see McLean get the day off in its entirety. I am looking at Matty James as an option coming in the middle. If he's healthy, then do it. Bodferson, I would love to see him working with Mullen and then eventually Mo Fall. I would bring Bodferson in early 60th, 65th minute. He's not, and you bring him in for Palmer, but he doesn't play Palmer's game. He's a setup man. He's an assist guy. He is your, if you're hockey, and I'm not saying he's as good as Connor McDavid, but he is your playmaker. He's not your scorer. And so it's a little bit different role. But I would love to see his vision in the box because he gets his touches in the box and he seems to find somebody with a short pass and does magic. And so that's who I want. He won't score it for you, but he will set somebody up. And I don't want Lee. I'd rather see Matty James than Lee. I know it's FA Cup and you want to win and all that sort of stuff, but I'm also worried about the league. And to me, I think we can get both. Is this one setting itself up for extra time and penalties? Are there 2 goals in the second half? I guess that's a wonderful poll option. Let's just see what you guys are saying in the chat, and then we'll bring up a poll. Revan has sprayed it around more than Ron Jeremy. Mr. Wood! Yes, and smash that like button. Yeah, and that's what I said before, Marcus, and it's well pointed out, was for whatever reason, when we play Harrogate, we just seem to be stuck in the mud. And I mean, that last game, we were up 2-0 before they came back in the last one, but the whole game just felt like ugly. And this game feels ugly. 1-0, down 1-0, stuck in the mud again. And we'll see how it goes. We should concentrate on the Welsh Cup. Indeed. Revan has sprayed it around more than Ron Jeremy. Can I put that on comment of the match? Is that too adult for anybody? The kids won't remember who Ron Jeremy is anyway. What while I'm at it, get the sponsorship stuff. This one brought to you by... Is that gonna block it off? Brought to you by Ultimate Promotions. They do pins, they do medals, they do sports badges. If you're looking for pins for sport trading, you're looking for soft enamel, hard enamel, the pressed ones that I had made, you're looking for the badges that you've got to give away for kids competition or that sort of stuff, go to Ultimate Promotions, ultimatepromotions.biz, ultipromo.com. You can find them on Google. Free shipping, free ad work, 48 years of experience, a lot of big names as far as Canadian and North American companies that look to them for their pins and that sort of stuff, for their lanyards and things. So reach out to them. Very lucky and fortunate to have them sponsoring, so you get to enjoy this ad free. Boom. That's done. Let's go to the polls then. Can't skate as fast as McDavid. Indeed. Nobody on the planet as fast. But he is a playmaker. And there goes the PG-13. I swore once. We're now talking Ron Jeremy. We're not PG-13. I'll have to hit the R-rated topics. Still think we're fine. But we're not getting totally risque here. So as a poll... start a poll here. So I'm going to say you guys want the FA, yes, and the FA Cup too. So you think you can have your cake and eat it too, is the vote. No, can't risk losing the FA. That's the camp that I'm in. Unless I get assurances from the FA Cup that all is well. Oh no, my ugly mug's sitting on the screen, sitting there paused. That's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Production errors. And some say 10% of you, interestingly, yeah, let's go to the Welsh Cup, even if it means losing the money and the revenue from the FA Cup. And then some of you say, no, we never go to the Welsh Cup in any circumstances. And so for me, it's a no, can't worry about transferring over. And so I'm going to put up a new poll here. And we're going to do the... how's this one end? And your options. Wrexham takes it in 90. Wrexham can't find a goal. Can't find it. And loses. Add an option. Are we going to extra time goal? Or we are destined for pens? I'll let you guys have your say on that one. And it's a fascinating thing. Marcus, it's a fascinating thing how some teams just end up not being able to play well as against other teams, right? And for us, it's Harrogate. It just seems to be, I mean, it's not too long ago that we had our win, but it's been like 3 or 4 matches. For you guys, I think it's Stockport. Stockport just can't win at your stadium, or is it vice versa? The inverse is true. I just know that like there's some crazy home winning streak in your head to head with Stockport that fascinates me, and I just can't remember which way it goes. Mujogan Iginda. That's it sounds like we're gonna win, but it's been a long time since I've been speaking Korean. And see, that's and Marcus, I was talking about that from the English perspective. If you're going to play in the EFL, you should play in these cups. If you want to play in the Welsh Cup, then go and play in the Welsh League. That's just how you see it. And I get, to me, as a foreigner looking at things, as a Canadian, that's how I understand it. Is if you want to put in a U21 team into the Welsh Cup, then I think that would be a great way to get the development that you want. I would probably upset the teams that play in the Welsh Cup as much as the EFL trophy does, as we're getting close to being underway here. How does this one end? Wrexham players traumatized by the sight of Big Bird. Lots of people still confident in this one. Like I've said, we have had our chances. We're just not getting the finish. Is that going to be Mullen finding it here in the second half? Is that going to be Clueworth with a magic header off of a corner, continuing his trend of just scoring and finding goals? Are we looking to the subs that are going to come in as we look to see Parky, who he brings in probably in the 65th minute? Like button, subscribe is down below. Hit that. If you're over on Twitch or you're over on X, bring it over as we're underway. And did he blow it down? I heard a whistle, then they kicked it, then you didn't like the whistle. Why? There we go. We're underway. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. And we're into the second half. There we go. Wrexham going from left to right on your computer monitors. Harrogate from right to left. And Wrexham got to answer the call. Like, that's really what it is just answer the bell. We came out for the first 3 minutes, and right now, no possession there. Knocked out, wild stab at it, and it's kicked over the net, not really threatening by any stretch of the imagination. Was that a sub? No, that was March. The first time I've really said March's name, other than a couple of interplay setups over on the right-hand side, building with Asarian Cornelius. Max Cleworth, right-hand side, looking to build through the middle. Nope, it's going to be a long, thumping ball looking for Palmer. Misses him entirely, but Cannon's able to collect it. Tries to get it over to Barney. Barney heads it forward. No, scramble ball, and we're playing ping-pong in the final third before it's stabbed down by Dobson, who draws it back to EOC. It's Cleworth now, right-hand side. Their side of half, and it's played forward to Palmer. He's got Cannon, couldn't get to him, and he's pulled down. Nothing there. Play on, and Mullen couldn't get the shot going. I don't know why he didn't have that crack. Thought that the foul was going to be given and decided to hold it up or what, but he just didn't swing the leg. And it just got stripped away. Dobson, woo, a little bit of dancing around the midfield stripe. Cleworth gets it forward. Mullen all the way back to collect it. Draws it back over to TOC, and we're going to build up through the left-hand side. Bring forward the chat so we can see what's happening. I can see the FA saying, oh, opportunity here. Mullen, Revan, forward. Palmer, knocked down in desperation. I think that was O'Connor. When I say O'Connor, they're O'Connor, the bad O'Connor. Deflected that and couldn't get it. Barney gets it. Cannon, we're sniffing around here. Leaves it to Barney. Right-hand side, he's got Dukes McKenna on him, and he bangs it off of Cannon's butt. Duke McKenna grabs it. He has been the only player all season long, Duke McKenna, to shut down Barney. Barney has had his way with every defender he's played in League One, but he meets this Duke McKenna guy, and he don't got the answer. Oh, and I get that. I'm saying if we're playing in the Welsh Cup and we're using it for European action, I would like to be able to play in the FA and not have it count for Europe. Revan, offer into it, punched out, knocked down. It's right there. Oh, and it's punched forward. I know that you're not a scorer, Dobson, but when you're standing on the 18-yard box, you got to have a crack. And instead, he plays it over to the left. Plays it over to the left, and it's easily cleared. Gun shy. That's how that one felt. He knocked it down, had a look, and I think he went, I don't want to, and kicked it over to the left-hand side. So it's going to be Belshaw who gets this underway. Belshaw back underway. EOC heads it away. It's headed backwards, and Ogonko could collect, but instead it's just left there for TOC, who advances it to Revan, who lets the ball roll in front of him, and here comes the man with the new haircut. Flashing down the left side, draws it back to Rathbone. Rathbone brings it back to Dobson, EOC. And EOC, he's got hair gel in. He's throwing me off thinking he's Dobson. Switch is on. Duke McKenna chasing it down. Barney in the box. Right footer and skies it. Ah! Had an opportunity. 18-yard box, and he's moving forward. Duke McKenna scrambling out of position, trying to catch up to Barney, who had all the time in the world. Knocks it down. First touch. 10 yards out, and he just blasts it up over top. Would have loved to have seen that on goal. I'm with you. Unless it's a U21 Welsh. And I don't know. Or you just put a secondary squad into the EFL Cup, the EFL Trophy, and a half squad into the FA Cup, and you cross your fingers for some added cash. But we'll see what happens. Second half will be Wrexham's to take. That was close. Another one of those ones where you sit there and you stare at it and go, wish I could have, should have done something better. As Duke McKenna wins the ball before he gets bowled over. And now it's landed for, man, who is that? I keep forgetting. March loops it all up over top, and it's easily backed out for EOC to Dobson, who's going to look to clear and build up for the Dobson giveaway. 18-yard box, Harrogate inside. Here we go. Opportunities, but well done for the left side of the defense to collapse. But headed forward, and that was headed away opportunity there, but Cleworth goes up and saves that one from a header, and they'll get a corner from the left-hand side. Well done by Max. That was scrambly play. Jesus. Muldoon there, but Cleworth able to get up and clear and save that one, and it's going to be a right-footed in-swinger from the left-hand side. Revan on Muldoon, chasing him all over the pitch. Just stay on his inside shoulder, sir. Duke McKenna, right-footed in-swinger. Flat, hard, low, dangerous. Bounces all the way through, and it's collected by Harrogate on the opposite side of the pitch. Dangerous ball. Their corners look threatening, and is that going to go for a corner? It is. Corner on the other side as it bounced off of Cannon. I thought paint would come off the walls and we'd come out ready to go. We're 6 minutes in, and we've had one shot from Barney, but it's been Harrogate stirring the drink. Duke McKenna again. Left-footed. No, it won't be. I don't know who that is. Left-footed in-swinger. Higher than Duke McKenna's service and easily cleared by Palmer. Barney bounces around and rattles around outside the 18-yard box. Mullen collects, and we're on the break. 3-on-1. 3-on-1. Barney, he's got Dobson on his right. He's got Revan to his left. Dobson, not the option. You've got Dobson on your right. You've got Revan on your left. What are you doing with the ball? Who's the goal scorer? Who's the magic? You draw your defender in, Asari, and who do you go with? You go with Dobson, and he goes low and bangs it off of Belshaw, and it goes out for a corner. Can't even score on a 3-on-1 break. Brah! How do you not go to Revan there? You got the pacey winger. You think that he's the offensive guy, not Dobson. I love you, Dobson. You're the best defender that Wrexham has had in years. Flat, dangerous, middle of the pitch, blown down. Moon hit the deck, and the referee obliges. Let's watch. It was 50-50 all over. That was just bodies scrambling everywhere. Palmer got pulled down by Moon. That was Moon pulling down. That was well done. Grab Palmer by the shoulder, pull him to the ground. Earn yourself the free kick. Belshaw waiting. Right footer to get us back underway. Thumps it down the middle of the pitch. EOC steps in front of his man, knocks it down. Revan has to do some work to go and collect it, and he does, and he bangs it off of Taylor's foot, and we'll get a throw in 30 yards out. I think either you guys are really quiet in the chat, or I'm with you, A-Craft. Need to find something. Knockdown. We are coming forward. Cannons gets the swing over to Barney on the right-hand side. He's got folds on him. It's not Duke McKenna, and Barney is able to beat him, but serves it way too far. Revan collects over on the left-hand side. Revan, well done being able to step in front of that one. He's got Taylor marking him. He draws it back. That's going to be Rathbone over on that side. Draws it back. O'Connor back over to Revan. Revan, service, far post, too heavy. Barney can't get it, and there's nobody over there. Well, they collect it or let it roll out? Let it roll out, they say. Come on! To the broadcaster's question, yes, the frustration is growing. Stir the drink. Do we get subs earlier than the 65th minute? Vote says Wrexham takes it in 90, so that's where we sit right now. Duke McKenna, nice little touch, and EOC had to save that one as he had Muldoon running forward. Stats, 13 total shots, 4 shots on target, 221 passes, and just no efficiency up front. Ooh, nice little dance there by Folds, who's going through everybody before he literally runs into Cleworth. Barney with it, advances it forward. Knocked down and turned away. Harrogate goes the other way. Long ball over top, dangerously knocked down. March with it, 18-yard box, not able to collect it, so he's waiting for support. Duke McKenna dances in front, moving forward. Duke McKenna blocked, and that's going to go... Did that go straight through? I thought it may have shimmied off of somebody, but instead it was just straight out Duke McKenna, a little jitterbug, the young kid. The fans are screaming for Elliot Lee, calling for the white Pele resounding through the ground. The referee, well done. March grabs on. This is the second or third time they've gone for that foul where they grab the player and pull him down on top of him. March pulls him down. Lee is up and warming up. Need a little bit of magic up front. I was hoping to see Matty James, but might not get the opportunity this game. Bodferson, I still want to see come on for Palmer to see how he works with Mullen. We'll see how that goes. There's Revan running up the left wing, dancing with Cornelius, and he gets pulled down and goes out, and it should be a throw for Harrogate. That's the right call. Revan knew that he was running out of real estate, knew that the only option that he had was to hit the deck, so he did. Didn't get the foul, and so it goes the other way. Don't we have Port Vale on the Tuesday? When do we play Port Vale? A trophy game, and it's a dead rubber whenever that Port Vale game is. Yeah, that's Tuesday. Next Tuesday. Not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. After you guys. Oh, thanks for that. Speechless. It's tough to talk when you're frustrated and give the whole... Yeah, it is the Tuesday after. Knocked out. I appreciate that the schedule makers adjusted for my move and my renovation on my property, that I'm only missing one game. It sucks that it's the one game I really was looking forward to, Mansfield. So that gets knocked by. Andy Cannon with it, gives it back to Cleworth on our side of half as we're looking to build forward here. Possession still with us. Goals... Or shots on goal still with us. Just can't find the magic as EOC runs over the halfway line and advances it forward. Dangerous pass to Mullen, not able to get there, and easily cleared by Moon. Just thumping it down. Are we into park the bus territory for Harrogate? Is that where they're at? Because everybody was back on that one. Settled in and then just thumped it down without having a look because I think he had space to play it. Thumped down Palmer, not able to... The first touch was too heavy, and so it just ends up being thumped down the middle of the pitch. And here they come on a break now. 4-on-2, 4-on-3. Duke McKenna moving forward. He's got Cleworth on him. He's looking to the left-hand side. Duke McKenna into the right side and misses and goes over everybody. I'll tell you what. This kid is for real. He single-handedly is spanking the crap out of Wrexham. Like, that's the story. This is the Duke McKenna show, and we've just... getting to be a part of it. Bodferson in. Yay. There are subs. What time is this? 58 minutes. Bodferson comes in. McLean comes in. Lee comes in. We're swinging. And you have to bring Lee in for Rathbone so that you get that mix up on the left-hand side. McLean, I'm assuming, coming in for Revan on the left-hand side. Mullen hands up the band to McLean. So we'll see exactly where everybody lines up because I assume it's McLean for Revan and Lee for Rathbone. And Palmer in for Bodferson. I don't assume that we're going to the 4-4-3 as sometimes Parky does when we get desperate. Yeah, it's Bodferson for Palmer. So let's see how the assist man does. And I don't even know what numbers they're wearing. 28. I should write that down so I can change it. John, I'm coming in on the 60th minute to bring the Boston luck. It's about time. Free kick for us. There's players down all over the place, and I missed the play because I was excited that John had showed in. The panic button has been pressed. Yes. And if you know Parky never, ever have I seen him make subs outside of injury prior to the 65th minute. To have a sub at the 58th minute gives you an announcement. The panic button is being pressed. Cleworth knocks it down, and then he gets stepped on. Oh, that's got to be a yellow at least, no? I mean, he's faking the injury there, but that's got to be a yellow card. Took Cleworth out in the legs and got the studs dangerous. Belshaw coming out to talk to him and being like, but he's hurt too. No, Brendan, you have free reign, but he will probably watch this and know what you said. Brendan's busy. Diandra was unfortunately busy, so I tried to cover the women and the men's match today. Women winning 3-0. March gets his yellow card for the bad tackle there. Hi, Giselle. Subs before I didn't see pigs flying or monkeys out of anyone's rear side orifice. But subs before 65 minutes? What? I mean, nothing spells desperate to me than bringing in Lee and McLean in the 65th minute with your new toy Bodferson in for Palmer to try and get something going up front. So here it is, McLean instead of Revan over on the left-hand side. Draws it on back, and it's going to be EOC 45 yards away. Dobson returns it back to McLean. Oh, sorry, Lee to McLean. No, to TOC as they're dancing around the left-hand side, and it deflects forward to Mullen, and Mullen's got Bodferson there. Does he find him? No, he scoops past him looking for Barney, and it's cleared forward. Clueworth collects 30 yards out, got a man running forward on him. March trying to pick Clueworth's pocket, but a big shout let Clueworth know it was there, and a mistouched pass ends up going awry from Clueworth, and it's given away to Harrogate. March with it, dancing forward, tries to loop it forward. Ogonko is going to come and collect, and let's spin this thing the other way. Mr. Foster, thank you. Third time with a super. I appreciate that. Feel free to come and hit the like button, the subscribe button. If you're watching this on Twitch, if you're watching this on Twitter, youtube.com/TheRedHorde, hit the subscribe button there. And yeah, gotta donate to the whenever Pet Parky goes before the 65th minute. Left-hand side, McLean with it, 20 yards out, got Lee advancing around him. Here's the play, corner, cross in front, left, and Bodferson left it for Mullen, but it's stepped into by O'Connor and cleared out, and it's collected by TOC. Back to EOC, and over to Clueworth on the right-hand side. The switch is on. Barney has McKenna on him, scoops it forward, and it's knocked down. Mullen up to Bodferson, nice little touch, and Bodferson with the shot just misses 2 feet over, but that's the closest one we've had, but it still missed. Borehamwood lost on penalties. Merde. That's how I keep my PG-13. I'll just swear in French and hope that my son doesn't hear me in the other room who's learning French at school. A little bit of enthusiasm. The paint went off the walls. Now you're making the sub changes. And do I have to bring out a hat? The toque worked last time. We'll try just the Red Horde hat. There we go. Bring that one up. John, thank you, sir. I appreciate you just because you're here so frequently, but certainly the $5 helps, and I will knocked him out with a hat trick, so he's got magic, eh? Does he? That's a good backline story that I was unaware of. It's knocked forward, and EOC, we're playing ping pong over the halfway. Bodferson touch with his feet, but loses control as he can't beat two guys, and it's controlled there by Cornelius, who draws it back to Moon, who thumps the tar out of it, and it's going to be a throw-in for Clueworth, 32 yards away from our half. And the frustrating part, the women's match had the mic live during the broadcast, so you heard all of the language during the women's broadcast. It was good stuff. 3-0 win if you missed that one for the women. McLean draws it back, gets it over to EOC, middle of the pitch as he's looking up the pitch. Can't find anyone, so he draws it over to Clueworth. Good stuff. Back over to Tom. Tom O'Connor, left-hand side, moves it forward. Draws it back to Lee. Lee flips up to Mullen. 35 yards out. Mullen with it, advances it forward. And that was Tom O'Connor all the way forward who gets it to Clueworth. Our back line moving all the way up to 35 yards or closer as Barnett has Duke McKenna on him. And I'm going to be honest, I don't like Barney having the ball right now. Never have I uttered those words in the last year and a half. But the reality is Duke McKenna stirring around and winning duels. I just don't like it. McLean, able to keep it in? No, not able to keep it in. So it'll be Harrogate throw-in from the left-hand side. Brendan. Yeah, always appreciated. Ildan and Han goal. We only need one more goal. That's And I think our depth going into the added time could be something as Duke McKenna goes and grabs it. And well done by Dobson just to go and teach him a lesson. Steps in front of him and knocks it away, and Duke McKenna has to hit the ground. Headed down and collected by Folds, and it's a little bit of a battle over the halfway line. Dobson, nice little pass over to TOC, who's going to advance it over to McLean, and Lee's going over there in support. 35 yards out, McLean on Osare. Cross into the box. It's knocked down. Mullen with it. First touch a little heavy. Couldn't put it there. Cannon flips it over to Barney. Barney inside the area, and it's chipped away by Folds. Duke McKenna, he can't get it. Cleworth puts it down to Barney. Barney, he's got Cleworth. Barnett to Cleworth. Cleworth going to give it back to Barney for sure for the service. You knew that was coming. And there's a cross. Bullet. Header. Can't get to it. Can Lee, and it's knocked down. Dobson can't get to it. And here comes the Harrogate counter-attack. The Muldoon couldn't get to it, and here comes Cornelius on the full stretch, and he's... Oh, that's a red. That's a red. Was there a defender there? Yellow. Yellow? Give it yellow. Yellow. Woo-hoo. Had to bring him down, but a little bit obvious. Cornelius just had too much pace, and we had a man in front, and so that's the only reason it wasn't a red. But this is a clear professional foul where he just goes up and just grabs his shoulder and pulls him down. And you know what? That's the right call because EOC was in front. Had EOC not been making that play in front, that's got to be a red. And Bryn, thanks for signing up and being a sponsor. $1 a month is all it takes. You hit the join button down on the bottom. You can do that as we're going to have a 24 yard entry. Lots of space to be able to have a crack at this one from Ogonko. 66 minutes. The time is clicking away. Parky must be every woman's ideal lover. He always changes things up towards the end. I know some who don't want the change up. I don't know. Duke McKenna. We are looking to try and lose right-footed. Left, it's entered into the box and too heavy. Duke McKenney, too much in that one. And it's going to go and roll for an Ogonko take. We're really pushing the rated R stuff. I need Brendan here to police. We've been talking about Ron Jeremy. I've been cursing. Now we're talking about this. But thanks, Bryn. Much appreciated for signing up and being the join. And Sarah Ricketts. I hope, Sarah, it's nice to see you again. It's been a little while since I've recognized and seen your name, but I hope all is well with you and yours. Harrogate making subs at the 67th minute. Yeah, and I just love the fact that, like, John, you've been here like since outset. Brendan been here since outset. Kim since near the start. We've got that. I just like the community. It's why I'm doing this when I know I've got to leave at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and go and do a whole bunch of stuff at the new house. But I'm just always appreciative that there are people out there that say, you know what, this is enough to me that's going to get $1 or $2 quid. So daily in. So they come with a couple of their regular starters. We've had ours put out there. I feel like I need a Nicorette. That's what I feel like. TOC. Searching for Bodferson. Finds his head, but a little bit too far out on the take. And had red jerseys all flying the other way. So Harrogate's able to collect and come the other way through Cornelius. Who's had pace. But nice little ball from him. I was just going to say, hasn't done much else. And that was a great pass forward into Osari, but nothing there, and then Ogonko was forced to make a collection on that one. First time Ogonko's been asked the question. Good little tackle by EOC on Osari, busting down the right-hand side. Lee's getting the first one. You say a screamer. I don't care. It can be off of somebody's ear. Barney's nose. Let's call Barney's nose again. I just find the back of the net. Dobson with it, up to Mullen. Mullen's got Bodferson up ahead, doesn't give to him. Elects to go to Barney over on the right-hand side. Duke McKenna over with them. Barney, cross, far post. It's their header! McLean. Like, that had all of the makings of finding the back of the net. Barney beats Cross's quality. McLean running onto the ball, and he heads it wide into the left and shanks it. Of course I'm disappointed he didn't hit the target, Mr. Color Commentator. Of course I'm disappointed. Unchallenged, middle of the box, running towards the ball. It has all of the makings. Yeah, maybe I cursed that one asking for a goal off the ear. Merde. 30 minutes to find one, folks. McLean. We've been all over the place. So the subs, Falarin came in for March. I thought there was another sub additional to that daily, but I don't see it showing up on mine. As we come forward, McLean, left-hand side. Can he get the service in? He cannot. Oh, he dances around his man. Taylor couldn't make the tackle. McLean going far post, a little heavy. Barney's got to just lay it back, and he does. Mullen flips it up into the area. Headed away. Well done by O'Connor to get up there and climb the ladder because Bodferson was behind him. Lee scrambles to collect it and gets it forward, backwards. EOC over to Cleworth. Lots of red jerseys forward now as we're starting to narrow things, the pressure being on. The fans with the Wrexham chant in loud voice as it gets over to Dobson. Dobson up forward, pushed in the back was Bodferson, can't collect it, but not enough for the foul to be given, and here comes Harrogate on the counter-attack. This is what it's going to be. Cornelius goes to do the chip, and he misses, and it's going to go out for a throw. Is Cornelius, lots of pace, horrible touch. I'd rather give this channel my coffee money, but my whiskey money stays with me. I'm okay with that. Yeah, a little bit of... I'll take... Mo Fall's got to come in at some point. Sorry. And I know Mullen's the guy. Far post. Missed everybody. Barney down, bangs it up, flashes off of the... Deflects straight up into the air. Cannon knocks it down. Lee collects it. Settles it down. Cleworth with it. 35 years out. Air of menace it's described as. And I'll say that as Lee cuts through the middle of the pitch. 18-yard box. I would have liked to have seen him maybe turn. But instead, McLean left side. Cross into the box. Nobody there. Headed up. But straight to Cannon. He puts it into a dangerous area. Bodferson! Oh, amazing stop. Oh, my word. Everything you wanted in an opportunity. Headed right down to the feet of Bodferson. Right-footed volley. Half volley. And Belshaw goes to ground and just throws up the prayer. And it hits his body. Bugger! Bugger, bugger, bugger. I will take that from every opportunity we can get as we still sniff around the box. Put the pressure on and lean on him, lads. Cleworth gets it up. Lee loses the ball. And here's Cornelius, and hopefully he can give us another giveaway with a bad pass. And here comes McLean to go and try and take it off of Taylor, and Taylor goes to ground. Oh, easy. Easy fall. Oh, a yellow. That wasn't even a foul. That was him going down, losing control. A bad pass from Cornelius, who led him too far. He's wheeling, trying to get to it. His feet get ahead of himself. He's going down, and McLean gives him a little bit of a touch. And he does. He gives him a push and finishes the deal, but he was already going over. If it was a foul... Bodferson should have scored probably anywhere other than where he kicks, and it's in the back of the net, and we're celebrating a Bodferson goal. As it is, it's an entry high into the box for Harrogate. Knocked down, flicked back forward, and it's knocked down by Dobson, who can't get it past, and Dooley settles it down, right-hand side. Unfortunately, I said Belshaw at the start had Ogonko-like numbers, and he's proven it here. I mean, that one, though, would be one that if Bodferson scores, you go, well, there's nothing you can do about it, right? What are you going to do there? And the Irish. And the Irish. John says we're getting 2. Mo Fall. '74th minute. Ringing the bell. Ooh, we're going 4-3-3, folks. Modu Fall in for TOC. So it's going to be Fall, Bodferson, and Mullen up front. We're going for it. As you have to. FA Cup. Thank you very much. I'm curious to see how this goes in formation as well. First time we've seen the 4-3-3 this season. Advance forward. Bodferson leaves it down. Oh, nice little drag. See, that's the stuff that I love. He's being held, and he's still able to loop the ball over and try and make a play out of it and make a call, but nothing given. Left-hand side, Lee. He's got McLean to his left. Lays it over for him. Sorry, trying to get there. Tackled, and it's going to go out, and a goal kick. Deflected. Bugger. A sorry tackle, and it was going out, but as it was bouncing out, McLean ended up bouncing into it. The goal was scored in the first half in the 24th minute on a header from Muldoon. It was brilliant service by Duke McKenna from the left-hand side. Revan lost Muldoon and gave away the inside shoulder, and Muldoon, easy header. Will I be watching the draw? Oh, for the second round? If we're in it, yes. If we're not in it, no. If I'm not in it, then the FA Cup doesn't matter. If we're not in it, then to me, the FA Cup doesn't matter. It does. I'm a liar. I don't give two rats about the EFL Cup. I'm okay about the trophy this year because we have so much depth, and I kind of want to see us running. And I'd like to see the academy guys going. Here we go. It's a scramble down the right-hand side. Collected, knocked away, and it's Lee collects in the middle of the pitch. Pulls it back to EOC. EOC advancing it forward. So it's on 7:45. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. I'm supposed to be doing renovations and putting together a bunch of stuff, but let's monitor it. McLean with it into the area. Oh, Mofol can't get it, but Dobson steps up, knocks it down for Cannon. Low shot, cleared away. We continue to sniff and ask the questions. So far, Harrogate with the answers. Their back line, and Belshaw has had himself a cracker of a game in the back there. Well, we won't get a draw, right? Well, except it would go to AET and added extra time and do a penalty kick. No ties as a reminder, so it's going to be solved tonight. One way or the other is Mullen tries to find Fall, can't do it. Cannon stepping up to try and collect it and can't do it inside the box. It comes to Barney. He's away from his right wing. He's closer towards the middle of the pitch, so he brings it back to Cleworth. It is tie a knot in the rope and hang on for dear life for Harrogate as Barney down the right-hand side. He leaves it for Cleworth. Cleworth looks to enter it in, says, no, I'll give it over to Dobson. Dobson back over to Barney over on the right-hand side, 18 yards out. He's got Folds marking him, draws it back to Cleworth. I would have taken on Folds, but Cleworth instead enters into the area. Mullen standing at the 18-yard being held at the edge of the box. There it is. Barney, serve this, sir. Service. Fall is there! It's a header. It was right on his head, Mr. Mo Fall, and he just says, if everybody else is going over the net with my headers, why don't I go over the net, over the top of the net too? Little like he had an opportunity. He did have to step back to go and collect it. He had Moon on him. Oh, it wasn't Moon. Sorry, it was O'Connor on him, holding him down. But I think he probably could have got that to ground. Barney, he's been picking it up. I was right when I said Barney was getting owned by Duke McKenna. He started to show me that I was wrong, and every time I question the man, he shuts me up. So I'm just going to continue to say that Barnett sucks and he's overrated. I'm hoping that you saw that my face, and if you were just listening to me, I wasn't being serious there. I think that's everybody's prayer in League One, right? Is to try and get to the third round. For us, let's just get out of this. Boreham Wood did the comeback and almost finished it off. There have been comebacks all over the place. Would we be tied if Mullen passed to Revan instead of Dobson? Great question. I never would have made that pass. Left there for Ogonkwo. And, confidence by McLean. The Ogonkwo just skies it and kicks it out. There's his little shank to the left that we get once a game, and it's going to be 80. We got 10 minutes left to figure something out here. Harrogate. What is it with Harrogate? Dobson with a right footer or shank off the side. He gets pulled down and no penalty given, and it's going to go out for a goal kick. What the freak was that? Dobson, I've never seen that. Right foot shank, Asari goes in, and then That's not a foul. We EOC gets the... Well, you know what? One angle actually says it was. One angle says it wasn't. Certainly make the shout for it, looking for a penalty. But one angle, it looked like EOC got to the ball first and Asari milked it. The other angle makes it look like EOC just stepped on his foot. John will have his commentary as to which one of those two angles was more correct, as Parky screaming from the sidelines, trying to figure it out. We are 4-3-3, and I don't know what other options we have. Do you bring in Matty Janes in a desperation move over Cannon, over Dobson, throw it all up front? Bodferson heads it down to McLean. McLean to Lee, 40 yards out with possession. Lee, far switch over to Barney on the right-hand side, and he just rolls harmlessly. Too much power. Easy, Marcus. Don't want to end up having to hate you. I'm not even going to click that one to put it in the comments. Bold call. Maybe I screenshot that one and we come back after the Mansfield game next weekend, Saturday, 4:30 in the morning our time. Bugger me. It worked last time, didn't it? It worked last time. The issue is I got to take it off once we score. But let's get into it here. The badge was in the middle. There we go. We're all set up. Full. Knocks it down. Mullen with it. Draws it in. Bodferson not there. It's laid up and it's cleared for a throw. Oh, I got it. Throw in left-hand side. McLean pulls it forward to Fall. Fall gets it back. It's now Cannon over on the left-hand side. He's got Lee. He's got McLean. He gives it to Lee. Lee. McLean knows his left. Fall in front of him. Pulls it back to Cannon on his right-hand side. Right in front of the D. Barney with it right-hand side. Duke McKenna on him. Far post. Missed everybody. Ran underneath the ball. Nobody got the back post re-entry into the box. And so at 82 minutes, it's cleared out. And we'll get a throw from the left-hand side. The hat! The hat! Long may its magic continue. It's a toque. She's a toque, boys. Yeah, bud. Left-hand side. Held and grabbed as Bodferson. Collected by Belshaw. He's laying on the ball, and we're starting the 15 to 30 second time wasting milking session. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate you. Nice to see Hip Karma pick up one of those memberships as well. Left-hand side, halfway line, 6.5 minutes plus added time. We're looking for one to push it further. Then we can worry about another one later. Please, just get us one. Mullen, all the way out at the halfway line, draws it to Lee, who kicks it back to O'Connor. EOC. O'Connor came off. Back to Cleworth on the right-hand side. Cleworth advances it forward. Left for Fall. 25, 30 yards out. Drawn back to Lee. That's not Lee. That's McLean. McLean looking for an entry into the area, headed away by Asari. Dobson tries to collect it and does. Hurry up. Had to stab it to save it. Oh, McLean, left side, 35 yards out. Still looking to pierce and get a little bit closer. The pressure is on. Parking the bus as it's just outside the 18-yard box and laid back to Lee. Lee with an opportunity. Puts it forward to Fall. Fall, Cannon. He bangs it off a defender, but we're able to recollect it. Cannon has to draw it off to McLean on the left-hand side. He's got Taylor marking him. Dance him. Right-footed. Into the box. Far post. Scores! There it is! Flag up. Offside. Flag up, offside. Give me the replay. It didn't look like, I didn't see it who got contact, but it didn't look like there was a man behind. Let's have a look. Mo Fall. Oh, is it because it hit Lee's head? He was not offside on the entry from McLean, but it's glanced off of Lee's head, and when it hit Lee's head, Mo was just behind him. So it was offside. But you can't blame fall there. He was onside off the initial entry, and it just skiffs off of Lee's head. Well done by Mo Fall. Well done by Lee to advance it. Like, it was brilliantly crafted, brilliantly played. It was just that little touch by Lee in the start of the box put Mo Fall just about a foot, 3/4 of a foot offside as Belshaw gets it underway. 4.5 minutes here till 90 minutes. That's just our luck. That's just our luck. Daly bangs it off, and so we're going to get a throw in here, and it's knocked. Well done by Fall to put it at the feet of Cannon. Cannon, though, got some work to do as he's got dragged down. Wait. Handball. Handball on Cannon and going the other way. Interesting that wasn't a foul, potentially going the other way for a couple of grabs as he was running, but not enough touching there. Harrogate with it, having a last minute shot and crack, and ooh, bounced off of a shoulder, arm, but doesn't matter. Ogonko collects it. 3.5 minutes to go here, and plus the added time, and there won't be a lot of added time. If there was only 1 minute in the first half, it might only be 1 or 2 in this. So let's get her fired up, lads. Down near the Mullen taking a dive and then flicks it off, and he's going to get a corner, and Mullen getting up and giving the official an earful for not getting a call, and he's going to get a yellow card for the chirp. The chirp, a Canadian phrase for complaining too vociferously. Mullen gets one as he got up on the corner flag, upset that his flop didn't draw a foul. It was a flop that time. He did work enough to get a corner, so we'll get a right-footed in swinger. It's up, near post, players going down all over the place, nothing given, and it's going the far side. Barney trying to collect it off of Duke McKenna, and it's going to just roll out for a throw-in. 2.5 minutes. Parkey already lobbying for the added time. Oh, the sock's got to get pulled up here. Throw in for us, 18-yard area. Everybody's scrambling to get into defense for Harrogate. The throw comes in short. Barney, left by Cannon. Barney tries to dance Duke McKenna. Can't. Duke McKenna's still on him. Pushing him. Barney beats him, gets to the middle of the area. Barney draws it back and holds up and then gets tackled, and he just got tackled. Daly mowed him over. Barney, so this one, Barney in the last 20 minutes, since I've said he sucks, facetiously, reverse jinx, has really, really turned it on. So I'm just going to have to say it. Sorry to Brendan, who's now going to be confused when I say Barney's overrated. But let's get some magic here off of this one. Set piece, 18 yards, 19 yards out. Mullen standing over it, 4 men in the wall. You've got Mo Fall. Who do we have here? Dobson's clearly not taking it. McLean clearly not taking it. This is Mullen all day. I don't even know why they're in his ear. Because you know they're not touching it. Canadian chirp, American bitching. Appeal. So going to be a right footer. Is he going to bound it around the walls, try and smash it through the wall, or is he looking to serve it in? Having a look. Mullen serves it. It's in the area. It's back to Mullen. Mullen dancing still comes loose and it's cleared. I like that as the option because I think with his right foot it would have been hard to get up and down, and there's a 3-on-none. 3-on-none. Offside, sir. And he skies it. Grab a ball, Ogonko, and go the other way in a hurry. That was an ugly play there by Harrogate, but we're running out of time. 13 seconds, and I think we only got... And on that bombshell, Mullins, the king of flopping. It's amazing how we do turn on the guy who's like 100, 101, 102 goals. I still haven't seen the time come up. 5 minutes of added time. I think that's generous as all hell. I'm smiling because my teeth, something with the light today. Looked like I went to Turkey. Knocked down, midfield stripe. Cleworth up over top. Couldn't get it, but it's headed down to Dobson. Mistake by Harrogate, not able to clear it. And it goes to Mullen, who he gets shouldered into and making contact with the ball. It goes astray, and Harrogate collects. Bugger. Left-hand side, Daly collects, draws it back, and they're going to hammer it down the pitch, and they're going to make us come the full 90 yards. Ogonko collects it. 110 yards. Played forward, McLean picks up his standard booze. We're in it. I'm with you. There's still a chance. The pressure's been on. I don't even want to look at the stats. John, I've crossed 147 days yesterday without a cigarette. Cleworth with it. Bodferson pulled down by the arm and couldn't get a head on it, and so Harrogate's going to collect. Just that gentle little tug. Not enough for a foul, but just enough to throw the player off. And the benefit is it falls to them. A minute and a half into the 5 minutes of added time. Marcus is calling it on our behalf. Fall. See, another... good for him for fighting through the pull in the arms. Bodferson headed. Bodferson, Mullen, it's there. Bounce down. Somebody find it at your feet, and they can't, and it's cleared. Shaw. Bodferson was looking. Mullen was looking. 6 yards out. Everybody trying to find where the ball's going to find. That's where you need a poacher. You find those little tiny guys who go in there and just happen to find the ball. Jonathan David of Lille being the perfect example of just somebody who always the ball seems to just magically appear on their feet inside the 6-yard box. Oh yeah, 2.5 minutes, halfway through. Long sweeping ball down the right-hand side. Bodferson not able to get there. Headed away. Collected by Cannon, though. And Cannon on the right-hand side, we've got lots of people. He's pushed in the back, and he's run into. And it goes the other way for the handball with Cannon on the deck. They say Cannon fell over. Yeah, pushed on the back, and then he lands on... That's one of those ones that's the... That's one of those plays where you go to ground and you go a little easy and you just put your hand on the ball thinking that you'll force the stop and the free kick will come your way, and the referee said, no. You went down a little easy there, Mr. Cannon, so it's going to go the other way. Less than 2 minutes left. Ogonko with it, minute and a half. Gotta come down, gotta score. Let's do it. Left-hand side. Haven't crossed the halfway line. Cleworth now over on the right-hand side. He's going to flip it up towards the middle of the pitch. Bodferson there to try and get it. McLean to try and get it. Bodferson not able to... The first touches from Bodferson, that one, yes, he was interfered with, but that one he looked like he gave up on, and it just went the other ways. That's got to go free kick the other way. No, he just fell on top of the ball and put his hands on it, but no, nothing from the official, and Dobson grabs it, and he's going to go far side and leave it there for McLean to run onto. 45 seconds left. Mo Fall with it, draws it back, pulls it, leaves it back for Lee. Lee over to Dobson. He's got Cleworth stepping forward. Cleworth 35 yards out. Come on, do a thing. Gets it over to Barney. Service is coming. Right-hand side, middle of the pitch. It's down, and it's... Did I hear a whistle? No, I didn't. It's going across as a... And it gets thumped down, and it's going to go for a throw-in. 20 seconds left, and it's... No ball, so we got to run and grab and collect it and throw it in. It's not looking good, lasses. It's not looking good. Gonna need a miracle. Along McLean, service into the box. Bodferson there over his head, and Belshaw easily collects, and he lays on the ground, and the whistle blows, and it's over. The FA Cup, forget it. I'm not going to watch any more of that garbage. Yeah. What is it with Harrogate? What is it with Harrogate? Oh, well. Mansfield. Now we get to focus on League One. That's what it is. EFL Cup's over. FA Cup done in League One. No football fortune this year. As far as revenue comes into the pocket, you're going to get a drop in the bucket for the fans at the Harrogate Stadium, at Weatherby Stadium. And man of the match. To be fair, Duke McKenna. Served up that one. Revan with the mistake bit us in the butt. I'm trying to think of who played a good enough game to be called man of the match. I would have said Bodferson is the sub, except for those two questionable touches at the end. One of them I can understand, he was pulled by the arms just enough to kind of throw him off balance, and so that's the situation and the circumstance there. As far as other players who had, Mo Fall looked good coming in. Mullen to me had a shocker. No other way to put it. I mean, the guy's history is there. Exceptional goal scorer. Whether it's not the same via injury, whether it's not the same because League One's too high, but it's not there. I mean, how many games has he had now? But it's just, it's not there. 11 matches, 4 starts in the league. You go all competition, so that doesn't include the trophy. And he's sitting at, because he's had extra time that's what, 11 and 4 across all competitions. So, getting to the point where you'd want to see more. The reality is he had that right-footed opportunity, which is probably our best opportunity early in the half. I can stop the clock and go to full time. Stuff that I don't normally have to worry about anymore, but there it is, final score. Tell me I'm being too hard on the Mad, but we'll see. Prediction for next weekend. Ooh, 7 millimeters of rain and the game can't go. That's my prediction. 7 millimeters of rain and they can't get the game off. That would be hilarious if that's what happens. We do have the Bristol Street Motors Cup, but that game is about depth, right? Like, you're putting out your extra squad, and we need it and run the players out, and that's fine. And I would love to get to Wembley and have that opportunity, and it matters if you get that far. But you don't really call on the Bristol Street Motors Cup counting for anything until maybe the quarterfinals. Dobson, yeah. Even he had that bad right footer that at the end there that was questionable, but I don't think you can criticize him for it. TOC was solid. EOC had himself a couple of nice tackles. Maybe it's EOC. I'm sure if Brendan was here, he'd be reminding me that EOC had himself a good game. Just a minor irritant, not a first team cup. I don't know. I think this one's going to hurt. And Wrexham, historically, when stung, comes back with a vengeance. And so if I was Mansfield, I know there's going to be a lot of people saying, well, if Harrogate can take the win and knock Wrexham out of the cup, then Wrexham's ripe for the picking. I would think that if Wrexham's going to put on a show, it usually comes on after the beatdown, and this one counts. Right? Who knew? Production controls all over the place. But that's what we said about being toothless up front. I mean, Bodferson looked good, and that opportunity he had on the half volley that skipped off the ground, and he did the right thing, and he can't place it. He's going to ground and just saying, put it on target. And he smashed it and put it on target. And if it goes in 5 degrees in either direction, or 5 degrees up, that's in the back of the net, and we're celebrating, and we're calling Bodferson the Icelandic god. As it happens to be, Their keeper just had himself a holy of a game. And I don't know how else you put it. Belshaw, I mean, let's just jump into the stats here. And I'll see if I can pull these up. I don't think that's the right feed to pull them up, so I have to bring it over here. Production quality suffering. And why do I sing when it's suffering? Weird things to do. Let's see what happens here if I go to this. Yeah, no, that's the wrong one. I will find it. Just give me a second. There's the stats, and so let's bring those up. Possession way up at 62%. That's not our style. We can't do that. Expected goals 2.41 to 0.43. And that's because we had 21 freaking shots. And of the 21 freaking shots, 5 hit the target. As a reminder, early in the year, we were at 44% of our shots being goals. We weren't getting any shots, but when we had them, they were going in. We were spoiled. Lap of luxury. And now 21 shots, 5 on target, 3 big chances missed. What do we have as the big chances? You have clearly the Mullen one in the first half with the right foot that he screams completely off to the left. You have the Bodvarsson sweep. That would have counted as a big chance. Maybe the Mofall header, where he was there and had the opportunity in anywhere on the net, and that probably would have been in the back of the net and just couldn't get it. I guess I could poke around on their XG here and see what they counted as the big chance. Oh, the Barney one. Is that the dark red here? Yeah. No, they say the XG only got a 0.02 on that. Left-footed 0.02. Yeah, the Bodvarsson, that one got lots of attention. The Mofall with a 0.32. So I think it was the Mofall as a light one. But you go through the rest of the stats. Shots on target, as I said, 5. Block shots, 6. Shots inside the box, 19 shots inside of the box. Ugh. Like that stat line. And I get it. Some of the times these games just happen, right? But you'd like to overcome 413 accurate passes. That's 100 over our season average in League One. What else do we say? They win next week 2-0, says John. 73, 14, and 6 at home under Parky. Have a good week, everyone. The women had a big win, and that's the good news of the day. They're now sitting just a couple of points out of getting back into that top 4 where they need to be to have an opportunity to compete for the top spot. But Marcus, appreciate it. Enjoy your packing. That's what I'm going to do. I've got maybe 15 minutes to chat with you guys, and then I'm going to have to bounce. We're going to go and do a whole bunch of renovations. Pax IKEA stuff and all that sort of thing. So we need a better forward. And I don't think they're out there to go and get right now unless you're going to really break the bank. Like you're looking like Isaac Success or and I don't know whether he'd come to us. I don't know. The issue that I have, and yes, we had that goal from Mullen early on, and I thought maybe that's exactly what he needs, and he can get off the schneid and feel good about himself, and everything will be fine. He's not himself. He still looks like, remember when he came back from his injury last year, and I can't remember who we were playing against, but he had like a straight breakaway, and he got to about 20 yards out and he skied the crap out of the ball, and I went, whoa, never saw that before. He's doing things again where it's not that I know many people who could do better, but where Mullen would find a way, now he's not finding a way. And I think the consequence of that is he's what do you do when you're in a funk and you hear people talk about, oh well, you simplify things and you go back to your roots and you try to figure out a way, and I think the opposite is true. I think he's racing and I think he's trying to do too much. Love the guy because of his passion and you can't criticize him at all, but you look at one of the perfect plays that epitomizes things is that simple one where he had the 2 defenders. He was standing about the 18-17 yard away from goal, 17 yards away from goal, on the left-hand side of the box in the first half, and he took a right footer, and he had two defenders collapsing, and he had to split the difference between them. And that's something where I think Mullen of yore had the capacity to smash it between the gap and put it through, and instead he realized I've got to hammer this, and I've got to lift it a little bit to be able to go top corner because I'm not going to be able to shoot low, and he ratcheted it way up over the moon, and so just not there. But you look at anything, Palmer's flick early in the game could have been a goal. Fall's header late in the game could have been a goal. Bodfordson could have been a goal. It's all there. And basically, the moral of the story is, this is all Brendan's fault. Doesn't show up, and Wrexham loses. So he's forbidden. Now, what happens if Wrexham goes on a tear against Mansfield next week? Does that mean that I'm banned from my own YouTube channel? And there's a take from Aaron that I can't say I disagree with. I want to be wrong, and I'm sure you do as well, Aaron. Aaron saying, I personally think Mullen won't come back properly from his injuries. For a footballer, he's approaching retirement age and just isn't on form. Yeah, it's certainly possible. Whether it's the injury that takes him out, whether it's the old age that he's getting there, whether it's, is League One just too much? I don't know. I will say the only thing that I'm getting tired of is the flopping. But I give him credit today because he went down easy in the corner there, the one where he got the yellow card. And his immediate response wasn't just to give up and try to milk it. He did at least try to make a play and sweep it towards the goal, or off of a defender. And in that instance, it hit the defender and went out. And so somebody's got to lead the academy. No, I don't know who that's. I mean, maybe I'm just being too hard on Mullen in a game that didn't go well. But you look at all of those chances, and you're looking up front and you're saying, somebody find it. I don't think Palmer had himself an exceptional game. For me, I think the man of the match has to go EOC. Do I put up a poll? Do I even bother? Let's do it. Comment on the match. I know I'm going to take that David Wood one that said Revan has spread it around more than Ron Jeremy. Push the envelope a little bit with the humor. I'm going to remove the pinned comment. Remove the poll that said that we thought we were going to take it. Second in line was can't find it and loses. So for those that voted that one, congratulations, you got it right. As to man of the match, who do we go with? Barnett, I guess you have to, because he had the last 30 minutes and they were exceptional. I can't give it to Revan because he had the mistake. O'Connell's going to get a nod for me. Dobson, because he just does Dobson things. Do you take... The other thing is, and that's probably the other big chance that we never talked about, the 3-on-1. And you're running down the pitch. And somebody's going to ask the question during the interview. But you're running down the pitch on a 3-on-1. And you've got your Mullen, and you've got the man taking away you, and you've got to your right Dobson, and to your left Revan. I know the option would always be Mullen would like to be able to take the crack, but Dobson hasn't scored in how long? And Revan is at least your winger who you'd think would have some offensive prowess. It was an interesting decision to go to Mr. Dobson. Maybe he knows something from the training ground that I don't. But as soon as it landed at his feet, I was like, really? That's the option? Well, that was the option? I don't know. O'Connell. Who else do we put in here for the poll? Barnett, Dobson, O'Connell. Ogonko didn't face enough shots. I think those are the three. I'll just start the poll and you guys can have a look at it. I guess Bodfordson could have maybe been in the running for that one. We're here Saturday, bright and early, 4:30 in the morning Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern time for the early start at 12:30 out in the UK. So make sure to join us for that one. Brendan will be covering it. I really do want to show up. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to because we're going to be moving in on the 8th, the Friday before, and unpacking boxes and doing all manner of things. And so it's going to be very difficult for me to make it. Do we have any players not injured who can take Mullen's place? The answer is no. Palmer, really interesting. I thought he had an atrocious game. I thought his touches were heavy. I thought, with losing ball to Harrogate, I thought that his header that went, and I think he had 2 opportunities that glanced off. No, it was McLean who had the other one. McLean header. See, I can go through. There are like 6, 7 legitimate opportunities where earlier in the season those would have found the back of the net, and they're just not. And now some of that credit certainly has to go to Exercise Stadium, it was called Weatherby. Did they name it anyway? To Belshaw, who a 9.0 and a star for man of the match on their side. As far as FOTMOB, they actually give it to Barnett 7.8. O'Connell was at 7.7. Dobson at 7.5. So those were the 3 that were. I guess O'Connor at 7.1 was up there as well. To me, their man of the match, other than Belshaw, would have been Duke McKenna. Really impressed with that kid. Interesting. I thought Fall actually did all right. The one thing that I was impressed by with him was his ability to come back and secure ball and feel comfortable finding somebody to set the ball up and then advance it forward. He seemed to get the system that Parkey wants to play and fit into it nicely. It's interesting with him now. It's been a couple of games and we've seen his headers. This one was, I give him the benefit of the doubt because he actually had to step back into the ball again and try to head it forward. And so he didn't get as much power as he'd like to get off of it. But his positional stuff, just not there. And I mean, the offside call, I thought that his play was brilliant. McLean served that up. I wonder, ask the butterfly effect. What if Lee doesn't touch that? Because Fall's onside then. Does it get close to him that's such that Fall can get a touch to it, or did he need the deflection to get the ball over to him? But McLean, and it just glances off of Lee's head, but that's all that you needed for Fall to step himself offside. Man of the match should just be a black silhouette. Maybe that's the option. Because it was sort of a frustrating one. I mean, you look at it, there has to be somebody who gets man of the match in a 1-0 loss when you've got 21 shots and you've got the service up. You'd think it'd be a midfielder. I liked Rathbone, but I just don't think he has the offensive capacity. Cannon, I thought that he was solid but not exceptional. I mean, where do you put the blame? You put the blame up front. That's the only place that it can be. We had possession, we had the passes, we had the service. Barney struggled in the first 60 minutes. I'd beaten Duke McKenna, and I think maybe the kid ran his legs out and freed Barney up to beat him. But there was 3 or 4 blocked crosses that were taken away. That I think that's the most probably blocked crosses that we've seen off of Barney all season. But towards the end of the match, Barney was doing his thing. Ron Jeremy or Boyle's hair for man of the match. Well, comment of the match is definitely getting the reference to Ron Jeremy as we continue to push our PG-13 standing. I don't believe that that's true, Aaron. I think that the fact that we saw Parkey make 3 subs at the 57th minute. When was the last time that you saw a non-injury sub prior to 65 minutes? I don't have one. Does somebody have one? I don't think so, Jay. It is a fascinating question, though, and feel free to comment as well and answer these questions if you're in the chat. You've got to give McLean some time off. You have to give Elliott Lee some time off. So them coming out and being substitutes makes sense to me. Who else do you put in other than Rathbone to fill in for Lee? Josh Adam, who may in the future be the next Elliott Lee, not there yet, and maybe injured is what I've heard. So who do you bring in? Yeah, Parkey subbing pre-60 says it all. We wanted the win. So anything that comes out in the commentary post-match that says otherwise, you just point to that single comment and single position and say that's the issue. Yeah. Well, we'll give it to whoever. If it's Barney again, then I guess we give it to him. I would probably go with EOC. I think there were a couple of stabs that he made late in the game that were necessary, if not flashy. Look, you had a mistake with a young guy in Revan who got caught up on a set piece, and they scored. And you had our entire front line. Palmer didn't play well. Bodfordson had some issues with some control. I think, to be fair, Fall was the best of our strike force. And that wasn't that. I mean, he got the header that had the goal taken away for offside. He missed just the one with the offside. I liked his play coming back and securing position and being able to lay it up for the defenders or midfields coming up so that he could move back into position. I thought that he was much better. He had one bad touch at about the 30-yard line that I can recall in like the 85th, 86th minute. But other than that. And that was one of those ones where they were tugging on the hand, tugging on the jersey, and just struggling to fight through that sort of stuff. And that's what Bodfordson struggled with twice. So, oh, God. What do we do? Just sign it off? Leave it at that? I think that's what we do. The chat has died. The FA Cup is over for 24-25 after one match. No replay needed. We can't even complain that penalties are what robbed us. Maybe that's FA Cup karma. Maybe that's Wrexham not making comment like the rest of the EFL did with respect to there being no replays and how important it is for the lower league tables, and sort of forgetting that significance. That maybe it's fitting that Wrexham, the football gods, smack us in the butt. I don't know. This one sucks. Is what it does. But upward and onward, we got League One to worry about, and I guess I could bring up the table. Yep, just leave it at that. Do I bring up the League One table and find out? I just want to look at the matches in the table just to kind of give a brief little preview to everybody as to what's lurking away. I mean, you've got Mansfield, who has a game in hand, licking their lips at the opportunity of coming forward. There's 2 Tuesday games. So Wickham plays tomorrow, so they'll take care of their game in hand tomorrow. So that's something to watch. 11:45 our time out on the West Coast, sorry. 2:45 if you're out on the East Coast, so that'll be a 7:45 kickoff tomorrow. Burton and Crawley also a battle at the bottom of the table. So that means Stockport will go up to 14 matches played, effectively. And for Wickham, they're going to end up at 13. And so, interestingly enough, even though Birmingham will have a game in hand, for Wickham, if they can beat Stockport away by 2 goals or more, they will be top of the table. Although Birmingham will have a game in hand. So are we all Stockport fans, or do we just hope for a draw? I think we hope for a draw on that one. But now Mansfield will be licking their lips to them with a game in hand and 1 point behind to come in and take one and potentially 3 and throw Wrexham down into the muck and mire of that mess between 5th and I guess it'd be 11th, all starting to fight itself out. Other big matches that are going on is Barnsley and Rotherham a big match. Do we count Rotherham as being a big one, given their performance? I mean, they went cold for 3, but now they've won 1 and they're sort of back into it at 14th, and Barnsley sitting up at 8th, looking to climb back into the playoff spots. Leyton Orient, not much there. With Blackpool, Burton, and Shrewsbury, not much there. Birmingham with Northampton Town at home. Go Northampton Town, who themselves knocked out of the FA Cup, might be coming with a B in the bonnet. Wickham then will have Wigan Athletic, which normally you wouldn't look at Wigan sitting 19th overall with much there, but that's a rivalry game. That's a derby, and so they'll be into it. Exeter City Charlton, that's a big one, and then Stockport Bolton. So there's not really any big delicious ones other than that game on Tuesday. So we'll sign it off for the women. They've got their back and back with TNS, don't they now? They've played 7 games, but they haven't played TNS yet. And so they, who won 3-0 today, moved up to 6th in the table. I guess they were always 6th, but now they've got 9 points now, and eking closer to Swansea Barry Town. Did the Swansea women win today? Don't know. I'd have to Google, or I'd have to tweet around it because Google takes a while to update it. But Wrexham will go to the matches, and I'm pretty sure we've had Briton Ferry, and it's the New Saints on the 24th, so they're off for a while. So it must be a cup game. They come back with the New Saints on the 24th, and then they'll quickly turn around with them on the 26th. That's the good news. We're going to leave it at that. We'll wrap up the poll. Barney wins 50%. Just can't bring myself to root for Stockport, so a draw it is. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for joining. Like button before you leave. Subscribe button would be wonderful. Special thanks, as always, to our sponsor, Ultimate Promotions, for helping us make these pins. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. I love them. I do have to get them out somehow. My world just needs to settle down. Ultimate Promotions, and you can get to them by... Let me bring up the little blinky thing so you can see it up above my toque. UltimatePromotions.biz. Ultimate Promotions, ultipromo.com. That's it. UltimatePromotions.biz, ultipromo.com. If you're looking for pins, the soft enamel, the hard enamel, the pressed ones, if you want the medals, the badges, that sort of stuff, free artwork, they'll do it custom. They'll set it all up for you. 48 years of experience, the best in the land, and worthy of Europe. So feel free to reach out to them if you've got a sport team that you want to make pins for or anything else. Much love and happiness to you. I'm not going to see you guys potentially for a while unless I can log in quickly next Saturday, because for the Wrexham men, they've got the game next week on Saturday, and then they're not back until, I guess it's the Tuesday game against Port Vale, and I might be able to take in that one. Let's hope I can figure it out. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. And I will see you hopefully this Saturday. If not, hopefully the Tuesday following. A frustrated one. We're signing off. Have a good one.